take it over and see everybody at the green screen.
Yo, what's happening, everybody?
We're back, Jack.
How's everything?
We're back, Jack.
Just laughing at this this video that Ramin made. Great video. Thank you for that. I don't know if she sent you that just yet, but
No, I didn't say anything.
Yeah, no. It's some good stuff. Hopefully, you guys will see it soon. Either on one of our
I'm
media
not
outlets.
involved in this show anymore. You know, no one sends me anything. No one tells me anything.
John getting some hard FOMO here.
I mean, I'm always salty.
Come on.
Salty.
Yeah.
I'll just have my $1 coffee here.
Oh boy, got the MCD. Let's go.
$1.
That's McDonald's coffee, absolutely solid. I like coffee. I got my own coffee. I got the Trader TV brand.
Extra
coffee.
ice.
We don't publicly trade, do we?
Milk. Huh?
What?
Publicly trade what?
Trader TV?
No, we're not.
Not yet. We don't publicly trade.
We were going to try to do the Trader TV coin we were going to do.
Oh, right. Nice. I like it.
All right. Oh boy. Yeah. No Tim Hortons today. No. We're having a great day, man. Today's day has been. I'm just playing around. No, hey Adara. Normally that's a get it Adara when you yawn. So we have to say get it Adara for that right there. She just apologized for yawning. Yeah. No. Look, it's gonna be a good day. I'm a little bit tired now from not doing.
Nice drive-by yawn. I like that.
Get it, Adara?
Get it, Adara. Let's go. These markets, man, what a chop. What a chop. It's funny.
Timjeet Hortonsing? What the hell is that?
Wayne messages me earlier today, and he's like, this is a cockroach market. I'm like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
If you mean it's choppy, yeah. He's like, no, you can't kill it. It's unkillable.
That's right.
And I'm like, yeah, damn, you're right.
That's right.
Like, look, we've bought up a lot of aggressive sells that we've had over the past couple of months or weeks. Unkillable might be the right word, as again, some crazy flushes getting bought right back up. Yeah, definitely well worth that title there. I was like, what the hell is a cockroach market? But yeah, fitting for this kind of price action.
Randy keeps showing all these tables that he's working.
Yeah, you see what he's working on out there?
Of course, I said, yeah, of course. But it's the same tables as these, isn't it?
They look similar, but I think the measurements are. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's
more
going
of the same.
Anymore either. All right, so yeah, look, we're ready to rock. We have Adara and I coming back for the recap show today with Michael Noss. That should be fun. And then Neil back here tomorrow. But yeah, look, my most recent trading was long the futures. We were able to make money until we got stopped out at the very end of that trade. We're going to see about going long again right here, right now. Palantir, I'm a little bit upset that we weren't here when this came back into 129 again. But like that's the level that we wrote down. I really like that level. So we can see if we can maybe get some love back in for PLTR at some point here, but here comes the market back down again. I'm actually thinking short. We're underneath the 50-period moving average. We just touched into the high of the day. Trying to think about short, but would rather be in there. It was a big nothing burger when Powell came on at 1 o'clock. That's basically what started with me for these futures here. This was just about 1 o'clock. I was kind of getting ready to see if anything was going to happen here, but nothing did. So we had to wait now to see what's going to happen with this market. But yeah, so far so good here as we go. Yeah, looking for some more opportunities. Yeah. Starbucks there, not too many earnings. Adara sent me the market recap notes, so I'm going to check out on that. And yeah, you noted this as well. Shout out to Ken in the chat. Yeah, what's up with Micron?
Yeah, what's going on with Micron, man?
I mean, Micron is like straight to the upside here. Look at this 50-period moving average. Just loving life is MU right now. So lots of nice movements happening right here for Micron. My poor guy Marvell over here trying to still... okay, Marvell, I see you.
All right, nice.
I see you, Marvell. Trying to get back up to the upside here a little bit as well. So, yeah, we're having a good time. It should be a great close here as we'll negotiate this market. Not too much going on. That Lyra stock, I saw Sharif trading a bunch of different names as well. We'll look at some of those as we get ready to go here into the close for some rippers. So check on SMR. I recently sold this at $30.50. It went up to 36. Before I look at this, I'm going to guess 32. Let me see what SMR... Okay, well, that was a good guess. $32 for SMR. Yeah, that's actually looking like it is breaking. I didn't even check this today. Looks like it does want to break back above there. We'd have to break this level though, 32.30 for SMR as we go. So, all right, man. Thank you so much to everybody. Yeah, everyone's going to get smoked in lira today when it used that USAR is parabolic. Yeah, we did talk about some of that. The names there that are the mining names, the metal names.
Yep.
So that's going to be one of those as well. UAMY, also another name there for the rare earth metals. That's what a lot of the talk here is when China versus USA is going to be talked about, of course, live here and throughout the White House and all that kind of stuff. Lots of fun stuff happening at Trader TV Live, and I hope you guys have enjoyed yourselves so far. Right now, though, we do have the rundown ready with Sharif at the desk. It's all the names that you've brought into us. Let's go find out what they are.
Welcome, everyone, to the Afternoon Rundown, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. OB in for Neil. The big boys, they're locked in, they're loaded, and they're ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. But the only way to get those tickers up there, join Joseph and I on the midday show and get into that chat and vote for your favorite tickers every day. But you got to be a subscriber in order to vote and engage in the chat, so make sure you're liking, subscribing, and sharing. Here's a look at all four major averages right now, 2 in positive territory, 2 in negative. This is the Russell 2000, essentially flat on the day. The best performing major average of the day is the NQ, up 0.4, followed by the ES, up 0.13, and the Dow, the worst performing of the four major averages today, down 0.25%. We'll keep an eye out on the Dow. The first ticker, though, as decided by you guys, TSLA. It's been a tough few days here for Tesla after, having a decent May. Down again today to the tune of about 2% and change off the lows. Several different headlines today for Tesla. China sales continue to struggle with BYD, XPeng, and others really eating into the market share. But it's really Europe today, aggressively down in almost every jurisdiction in Europe, for the exception of one, Norway, where their sales rocketed over 200%, guys, on the back of the refreshed Model Y.
All right. Refresh Model Y. We're going to look at that. We came in here shorting 348. We did not think that's what we wrote down. It's not that we didn't think we were going to get it, but we started the day off short Tesla with the banger for me. Just really held that right into that level. It got going real early, and then all of a sudden, the next thing we knew, it was 934, and we're like into the short, and I'm just kind of like, huh? But that was a good trade anyways, brought it right back down into the downside there, and we actually got out near the end low of the day. Then we took that out. Look, I just think that Elon, for example, not that we've lost our way with Tesla a little bit, but it's had such a fun couple weeks of trading where, unfortunately, I'm going to probably have to edit that out to get a good look on this. All right, let me just go over here then. This is the Boeing chart. You and I just talked about Boeing.
It's going. Boeing is going.
By the way, that there is some serious renovations happening. So if you do hear some hammering here after in the background, we're taking down all those all those windows, all the walls, those were used to be windows back there. You can see the bathrooms now back there. There's Rob. Yo, what's up, Rob? You can see him walk. There he is. Hey, what's up, Rob? There you go. Those are some of the traders that are sitting there on the algo side of things, just chilling out. They're gone now, like most traders. If you've had a successful day, whether or not it's successful or not, you may want to take a little bit of time off and go relax. It's beautiful weather here right now in Toronto, that is for sure. But there's 368. Ooh, someone just wanted a best offer by Wednesday. We're going to hear what country that is. You have till July 9th, everybody, in that. But yeah, look, 330 down here has been pretty good. We wanted to go short now that we broke below 350, but we've had quite a nice day. There's a big move that day. Lots of movements every single day for Tesla. Today, no different, man. We did get right up to that 50-period moving average of 348, then fell off of that. So we'll see if we can regain some 348, 350 levels, but for now, it doesn't look like it. We'll have to wait on Tesla. I'm just, I hit it and quit it pretty early there today. Just waiting to see the 200 periods holding on the 1 minute chart. This looks like a good long to me right there, 340. What about if we break 340.50 right there? I think that's going to be a long, and actually one that I'll take because we'll also have VWAP in our back pocket by the time that comes through as well. So I like that trade. Let's see what we can do with VWAP and Tesla right there, breaking higher through 340.65. I like that on Tesla. This is a post that I put up here. The weekend, this is what was happening on the weekend. Here's, we had a game with the girls. We had practice as well. And then, of course, there's my dog, Joe. There's Belle. So here's Belle. Belle is now a baseball dog. She came to the game. Here's my daughter, number 15. It was a great opportunity. See what I'm saying? So I just ran into one of the guys back here who runs Real Trading. He's like, hey, you guys should do a show that includes Blue Ocean.
Ooh.
He goes, and by the way, you should also, Sean, be trading Blue Ocean. And I was like, yeah, because I don't have anything else to do. But here it is, my weekend in a nutshell. Not behind the screens, not watching the markets, not doing any of that. Just out here cheering and coaching on, and family life trumps trading life for me. 500 to 1. So, yeah, man, I'll be here for everybody always, but not during the weekends, my friend.
If you guys want to do a show for Blue Ocean, you know, I'm still here. You know a guy? I think I know.
You know a guy? You know a guy?
It's me, by the way. If you didn't.
You cost too much, Obi. You
Oh
cost
boy.
I work here for free. You know, you cost too much. But yeah, no, that'd be great. I think we could do something like that. I think as the markets start to, I mean, this is a living, breathing thing. You know, as
I would definitely want to get involved with Blue Ocean, for sure.
All right, so there you go. Anacott Steel.
Yeah. No. Okay. So Tesla, Tesla again. We saw Sean with a beautiful short in the morning. That 350 didn't really come in off of the open. Again, I was looking for that prior day levels there, some of those prior day levels, and kind of missed that one there. That 345-ish area was prior day lows. But yeah, we kind of grabbed some of those prices from yesterday, and then quadunk to the downside. Beautiful kind of a reversion of the morning push that we had, and we get to a low of I can't make this stuff up, 333 and 33 pennies on Tesla. Oh boy, nice. Was it the quadruple penta threes there before we revert back to VWAP? We're coming back into VWAP right now, 340s. But again, I think we talked about this a lot during the midday as well, being like some of the best opportunities today were straight up off of the open and within the first hour. We've been kind of chopping and churning and consolidating sideways since then. And you can see right here, Tesla's more of the same there. Sure, the long off of those lows worked out, but I think the continuation short was definitely one of the bigger picture ideas, as we have been selling off for now 3 days in a row on Tesla. So a bit of a continuation, bit of a pullback, but bigger picture, remember, we're still kind of in that stair step formation on Tesla. So no idea what it's going to do into the close, but best opportunities off of the open. Again, we had news of those euro sales in the morning, and that might have brought some shake and bake as well on this ticker. But that's what I got for Tesla.
Here's a look at the chart on Palantir. What a move up, then down, then up again on Friday, guys, catching that price action. Today, not really much happened and not too many headlines. There was a headline that the Trump administration was using Palantir to keep an eye on Americans, speculative there. In any event, guys, basically flat on the day, down 0.12, excuse me.
Oh boy. Okay, this is the big stock of the day. I think it's I'm not sure if you made more money on this or on Google. I'm not sure. But for me, it was about just over double the amount of my next best stock. And it was really just all right there. So we were like, it's funny because Obi and I talked earlier before the market opened, and we actually told you about this conversation that we had here. And it was all about this name, right? It was all about trying to see what was going to happen with Palantir. And we were looking for longs, and I think I had asked Obi, or he had mentioned to me that this was going to be a long break. And did you see that move on Friday and all that kind of stuff that happened right there into the close? And, you know, we did have rebalancing and all of that. So there was a lot of sort of anticipation for Palantir. We didn't have it on any of our notes, but I remember when we saw that come up, I think it was like a 5 or 6 million share buy or something there at the end of the day. But we know that Palantir was near all-time highs anyways as this market opened up. So I just found this 132 level, just another even dollar level right there. And once it broke off the open, like I didn't even have the order triggered. I just basically pushed it from my own.
Oh, wow. Okay. I thought you had an order sitting there.
No. I did, but not right away. Like when the market started to go, like it's funny that we got in basically right away. Like I think our trigger's in that first minute, but I didn't have it there in the pre-market. I did.
Okay.
You know, we didn't. Yeah, sorry. I didn't want it in the pre-market, but then once the market started to go, and Palantir kind of danced a little bit. It's too bad that I didn't have the tape recorded there, but it was dancing, and then all of a sudden it just blasted, and it was like, oh boy. Then we started to go, and then I wrote down on the sticky note earlier today that we wanted 120. 9, and then they came in right there, and we had that to the upside again. That was good. A couple stops here as we played around with the 50-period moving average, but then it came into 129 again, and then it was Blast City one more time. So, yeah, I really like Palantir here today. It just touched all-time highs, another all-time high today, up to 134.50. So I still like the stock. Let's be a little more patient with it. Look at the Nasdaq going this way, Palantir going this way right now. So it's not acting like the rest. My best trade, though, that nobody knows about is this one right here, and that is Alibaba off VWAP. We'll talk about that. That was right before. I mean, you guys all know about it. We talked about it. I said this was going to be my next trade. But here goes Alibaba again, another 56 cents in the money. All right, Obi, tell them.
Yeah, so have you ever entered an order to buy or sell and the price that you got filled at was completely different from what you expected? Well, that might be called slippage. Happens when you're trading on an old computer or underpowered computer, and it costs traders a bundle. So that's why our friends at Easy Trading Computers created the complete guide to trading computers. This guide shows you exactly what technology you need to succeed as a trader and avoid slippage. Go ahead and scan that QR code or click the link in the description to get a free copy of this guide.
Jesus.
So yeah, Palantir, absolutely crazy open there. Again, I had, well, I guess I can show my my morning plan for it now that it's kind of happened, and you guys can get an idea of what I was looking for here, right? Okay, so let me just do this, and I'll pull that in. Okay, so let me just, so the trading plan was kind of, I wrote this last night, guys, so you guys have to understand, I was already looking at Palantir over the weekend, right? So I'm like, very simple plan, I have it right here. Okay, my face is on top of it, so I'll move it to the side. So Palantir, look for a push of all-time highs, strong close on MSCI with an aggressive bid, right? Looking for that 133.50 push, which was the high. If it's trading above in the pre-market, look for a hold of the consolidation going into the open and get involved with C size, risking to the lows. And then if we have an opening drive, so it's like all these conditions have been met, opening drive, look for that continuation right off of open, VWAP hold, whatever, strong reasons to buy, and you want to see structure holding, and then you want to see it basically go right away. So that's what the plan was, and guess what? It did exactly what I was looking for, and execution kind of a bit of a fumble on the execution, but I definitely did have that push there. 132 is a little bit weak there, and then a push I got in a little later in off of the break of 132 halves there. Adds on the 133s, pushes into 134s there, and then I'm like, all right, well maybe that's all she wrote, because I was actually looking for that. That prior high was 133.50. I'm like, if we break with that kind of conviction, that 133.50's got like that. I want to see that go to 135 right away. And guess what? We start stalling 134s. Bye-bye, thank you, come again. I don't really like it anymore. Strong reasons to sell. That's a failure to follow through for me. Strong enough such that I actually flip short when it starts trading back below 134s. Funny enough, I'm like, all right, I'm only going to take it to VWAP, and it quadunks for another 4 points to the down, even more than 4 points. It goes from 130, actually 4 points, 133 all the way down to 139s. There's the ES and the Nasdaq ripping right now across the board. So let's see what's going on there. But absolutely beautiful opening drive. We saw that come in right off of the open, and an even more beautiful reversion to the downside, a little bit of a retracement off of a failure to follow through on that breakout on Palantir. Definitely very much in play on the day today was this one. You had to be involved. What's happening here? Oh boy, we got some live footage. Okay, all right. That's where we used to hold the meetings. Yeah. There we go. And there's the, okay, that's the kitchen there. That's where our kitchen used to be. And okay, now we're just replaying the video. Nice. So there's a lot of stuff going on.
I was expecting more, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't know. Sean's not so happy with Ramin right now. I don't know why.
All right, let's go back over to the green screen.
Google, Sean, they're going to spend about a $500 billion to end the shareholder antitrust lawsuit, reports the Financial Times. Obviously, there is other antitrust issues with the government that are still going unresolved today. Google, one of the worst performing Mag 7 names, second only to Tesla on the day, down 1 2/3.
All right, Google. Okay, wow. Yeah, and this was kind of the opposite discussion there as we talked about this the other way. It was like, okay, what do we want to get short today, right? I mean, because the market, it was kind of wishy-washy off the open. You know, we were up and down in the pre-market. I think we got, what was it, 1 or 2 numbers there. This is what we were doing, right? So forget about this green line here. This is the pre-market, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So that's where we decided to go Palantir long for the strength, and then looking at for something that had some relative weakness. So that was Google right off the jump, right? And so all of a sudden, though, Google was down 2%, right? It was pretty nasty. It was one of the worst was the worst Mag 7 name. Might have to get ready to punch long some Tesla here. Was one of the worst Mag 7 names, was the worst, sorry. And once it came up into 170, I mean, that was the level that we had written down here on, I know, I can't believe it, Chill Vibes. Meta was like, I'm glad Meta is a big part of my holdings because I missed the dip buying that. I actually bought some more Amazon during lunch. I actually should have posted that. I forgot about that. Added to my position on Amazon as well in the... doesn't matter, all my accounts are basically the same. Yeah, so Google, we just liked that short at 170, so it came right in. The reason why I liked 170 was just because 170 is a pretty key level. And then we did talk about this in the pre-market here where we had this bundled up and then we ripped there into the afternoon. So I was just looking at 170, thought that could have been the high. Looks like the high was 169.75. We sit there every time in the quarters area, especially when we start the day around 168. Was not really expecting to get that, but when we did, oh boy, did it come in, and it came in pretty nicely. And we actually got the high of the day on Google and the low of the day on Google. And that all happened within the first 10 minutes or so. So there it goes, fall. 10 minutes since we got that trade. That was 9:37. That's about 10:05. So about 20 minutes there of action on Google was at the high of the day. 20 minutes later was at the low of the day. And right now it's trying to go again. So watch out for Google right now, trying to make these levels matter. And if it does, I'm going to get another short back in around 170 if and when that does go. Look, we just talked about Tesla as one of the first name there. And I was like, I like the long, but I like it to break right here while it's doing it right now. So this is going to be something to think about. Palantir is also at VWAP, so that's another potential good long there as well. We might be a little extended on Tesla. I might have made the mistake there of not getting in early on that move, like breaking through VWAP there and then maybe getting out right here. It's a nice move to the high side. We're still long Alibaba, which is absolutely pumping right now. So yeah, this could be a good long. I'm going to stay away from it for now, but those of you that took it, you're in there right here. Just such a nice move. Look at the futures, such a nice move all the way to the upside right there. Looks like the TQs, obviously these longs were right. We could have gotten loaded up more at the 200 period. So, you know, we do have a good day on board right now, and that's part of, I guess, why I'm not super aggressive with this move. But there goes the Nasdaq, man. Only dip buys only, it seems like, working today. But Google was a great short to start with, Obi, and you and I had that, and you've recently had it and now gotten out. So
yeah, no, I think Sean got a little involved at the highs there, and I was a little later than that. I was looking for that 169.5 break, and as soon as it did, it's funny enough, I punched short here, and you can see that one of these arrows is slightly a different color red than the rest of them, because that initial punch was a partial fill as it broke through that half, and it kind of started teleporting down to the downside there as sellers started stepping into the bid. So that was pretty aggressive. So that's kind of what I was involved in on Google. Again, antitrust. I did not. I was antitrustful of the bid off of the open as that came in, and you can see how I was a bit convicted, as not only did I try it once, when it came back up into the 169.20s, I tried it again and again and again, and guess what? It was a gift that kept on giving, and I didn't try it another time for, what is that, the 5th time in a row? Oh boy, you got to keep getting involved. What do they say? As long as there's water in the well, you know,
well, never runs dry or whatever.
Exactly, something like that. Whatever. The well still has some water in it, so I'm like, I gotta get back. I gotta get back for the reload. Horribly butchered that saying, but you know, you get what I mean right here with a strong selling coming in. But pretty much sideways action. We talk about this. I'm like, all right, if this is gonna range, I have to flip up the way I'm trading now. If I'm gonna be trading something that's gonna be ranging, I have to sell where I think there is supply, and then buy as in demand areas. But those can be changing as well as price compresses, so you got to be a little, I guess, nimble as possible and be willing to kind of sell multiple and buy multiple prices as well. Regardless, sideways chop consolidation. The best opportunity was probably right off of the open. That strong failure to follow through of that 170 and then pulling back in aggressively all the way down to 167s and some change.
Wow.
So best opportunity on the day of Google once again off of the open. Here goes the market, man. Is that what you're wowing? Yeah.
I was
there's
like,
that-
trust
yeah.
thyself, but
Yeah, man.
you know,
boy.
we're already here, so.
See what's,
All right, Amazon. We recently bought some more Amazon.
Great entry, Katina, man, because they definitely got the nod today from Bank of America Securities, who maintained their buy rating but boosted up the price target to a healthy 248, up from 230. A lot of reasons they like this, guys. They see margin expansion in the future. They like their use of robotics. So all in all, a good day for Amazon, up 0.58.
Yeah.
I'm just mad because I was long the futures and wanted that long on Tesla. Could still probably get it. I don't know, not focused enough doing this stuff, but that's okay. We'll get back into it in a minute. What do you think about it on Amazon here? I bought some more. As Sharif just mentioned there, I only bought some more at lunch, so it's not like it was a great play from yesterday or anything like that. But I like Amazon. You seeing anything on the charts? Oh God, we're going to break that top right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking like we're about to push this top. I mean, you can see the market as well, very, very strong, holding that trend, that bottom wick that we got on that second 15-minute candle off of the open. That bid is still kind of grinding and holding to the upside as of right now. So is Amazon poised for a bit of a push? I think so, but a bit of a chop sideways here. But yeah, I wasn't really watching this one, Sean, but right off of the bat, again, retrospect, sure. Looking back at it, look at that. Look at how it wicks prior day high. This is in and around the same time that we started shorting that goggle, right? We're talk about market confluence. Not only was Google a great short, Amazon on the false break of prior day, again, more than valid, I think, but it has to have strong confluence as well for me to kind of push into that trade. I was looking at Goggle to take the market reversion, but take a look at how beautifully this one signals to you as well that maybe we don't want to buy above prior day high just yet, and breaks that morning bid trend for that pushback down. A bit of a sideways chop, but a slight step up all the way back to highs right now that we're seeing alongside the market with that tailwind. But nothing crazy. I didn't really have any trades on it. If you guys did, let us know in the chat. It seems like the open, once again, on these Mag 7s were some of the best opportunities.
Let's go over, we'll talk, I want to trade Amazon a little bit, so we'll talk more about that as we go. So let's go over and see what Sharif has to say about Broadcom. It looks like earnings this week.
June 5th, Sean, after the market show or on the market recap show with yourself or Neil. Not sure which one of you all doing it, but what a day today it is for Broadcom. Here comes that 250. We're 5 pennies away. We're almost at the high of the day. It's up 3.25% on this headline. The company announced the launch of their latest enhancement to VMware and Tanzu Cloud Health. If you're wondering what that is, it basically helps cloud operators control their spending on AI, on cloud. So well received by the market, guys, as it comes into local area highs.
Oh yeah,
I'm thinking of
the calm. Coming in at 250 right
futures.
now.
I mean, Broadcom is an absolute monster, right? I mean, this is what the daily looks like on Broadcom. It is at all damn time highs. I mean, there's not many better charts than Broadcom, period, right now. I don't know. Like, this is right here knocking on heaven's door of 250, like right now, you know. So wait a second. Are we above 250 yet?
Yeah.
Did we break
NVIDIA day
250?
highs right now.
Did we break 250 yet here?
No, we haven't.
This is probably something, man. June 5th. So this is a couple more days. This is probably a great trade to break this, right? I mean, I don't know. The spreads, I mean, I can deal with this. The spread's not even that bad. Right there, your out would have to be at least 50 cents coming back into that latest dump into some of that. That's not a bad trade at all if we really get going. What about Broadcom breaking through 250? I'm taking it. So, all right, if that goes through, I'm going to take it. Look, I love Broadcom. We talked about this, expanding your horizons a little bit here and getting involved with different names, right? And I think Broadcom could be one here. I'm going to punch it, breaking through 250. I just set the order. I only marketed up 11 cents up to 250.11. So that might not be enough to get this, but the market's pretty slow right now. So if it does break, we should be able to get something there. And I'm gonna, if and when we take this, which I'm assuming will get punched in, it down here, 249.50 will be it. If we lose 50 cents, fine. I think the upside is way greater than 50 cents. I mean, anything breaking, it's all-time highs like this, great. And I don't know, I think people will want to be positioned long into this earnings report. So, I mean, I don't want to be short this name, so That's me on Broadcom. I wouldn't want to be short this into earnings. I'm going to go long on this today, probably long on this tomorrow, and then guess what, Obi? Maybe long on it the next day after that. So we'll wait to see where we go. But thank you, Sharif. Get it yourself. And then right into there, I'll see if we can get it all together right there. As you know, there's a lot of getting it right here. The bro
Hey man,
show,
you know when the getting gets good.
when the going gets good, man. Oh no, now we're screwing that one up. That sentence
boy.
now, oh boy, we're messing everything up. The water well runs dry in the well, apparently. But
I don't know.
yeah,
See,
so
it's all jumbled in here, man.
I'm taking it. I'm taking it immediately. Broadcom. Let's go. Marissa just sent me that thing. Tonight we have hockey at 7:15, and then one of my daughter's best friends plays at 8:15. So, well, how do you think that's going to work for me? So, it's going to be a nice little night of hockey. I'm already excited for that. Yeah, we're ready to rock and roll. But I'm watching this Broadcom right now. I am going long through 250.
Yeah, that earnings is coming up on the horizon, and yeah, we're pushing into those all-time highs. A nice little push during the morning session. You can see higher lows, higher highs. Relatively, I guess, still lower high, but again, you're kind of making those higher lows. That's kind of more dominant because we are kind of gapped up on the day, holding that VWAP and now pushing into it. Market tailwind as well, right, Sean? You got that on your side, so that's absolutely a solid look. Now, I'm not really watching the tape on this one just yet, but yeah, that 250. Let's see if there's any sort of size there that we can get, take out on the way there. Bit of a curl up on these markets. There goes Amazon. You were just talking about that Amazon long. Amazon's pushing through its highs right now. Another name that I'm watching is Nvidia. Nvidia also printing some fresh highs on the day, 138.12s as of right now. But that VWAP, you can see that VWAP has been quite nice on a lot of these names, holding as a bit of a resistance or a demand area in the morning and the midday session for the most part. And we're getting that continuation pushing up into some of these, I guess, into the last hour and a half. And Sean, that 21.5, man, this market loves that 21.5. We keep kind of reverting back into it, chopping into it. We've kind of retraced all the way back up to 21.5. This morning, it was funny enough. I'm like, oh boy, that's an aggressive bid off of 21.200s. Can we really do a 300-point retracement all the way back up to 21.5s? I thought about it. Guess what? It happened. Yeah, I wasn't necessarily involved in any sort of longs for that. But again, where was potentially some of the best longs there for that market move? Again, Nvidia showing up, obviously the spider as well. If you're going to take the market, why not just trade one of the market ETFs themselves, like the TQs or the spider? You can see the spider made a distinct low in the morning session right there at that 585.06 and pushing up much higher right now. I think it was 586 and some change. That was prior week's low, if I remember correctly. And then we broke that and then rebid. Yeah, this was the one. We broke that and then rebid aggressively. We kind of hold that coming into today as well. So fresh week, strong start to the week. Another name that was pretty strong as well. Let's see how that one's doing. Oh boy, Meta coming in aggressively to the upside. And now again, they had a catalyst this morning, something about switching their, I guess, all their ad creation to be run by AI, which is an interesting development. But again, catching a little bit of a bid on the day alongside with the rest of the market. Not as sideways as some of these other Mag 7s, man. Like you can see, Tesla is pretty much trading near its, I guess, near its bottom half of its trading of its price action. Nvidia is strong. Softy's kind of choppy sideways, but still trading near its highs. Relatively flat though. Apple as well, very, very flat. You can see this one's the range. This one's a beautiful range trading on the day. And again, Meta's the only one I'm really seeing with this kind of strength on the day, other than Nvidia, of course. But yeah, those are the strong tickers that I have on watch. The other one, kind of in the chip sector here, was, oh boy. So there's clearly a buyer. There's clearly a buyer on this name, Sean. And guess what? I'm going to stay watching this name.
Micron, no, there's no buyer there.
There's no buyer?
No, there's no buyer there. No. What are you even looking at?
Where's it at though?
Oh man,
yeah, I will definitely be a little bit of a seller if and when that buyer steps out of the way. But
okay, so about that Broadcom, by the way,
yes,
like not in it, but look at it just drop off that 250, man. It saw 250. It saw it once a minute for like the last 10 minutes. Then the market finally pulled back, and then now Broadcom is giving you that dip buy opportunity. I'm going to get involved in this momentarily, but for now, let's go figure out what Adaro's up to.
Just be aware here. So we did have, of course, during the rundown, I think a story worth noting here. Keep an eye on this market. Reuters reporting that, according to a draft of a memo viewed by Reuters, viewed by these reporters, apparently the Trump administration is basically has put a draft letter to various negotiating countries, basically saying that they need to prepare their best offer for tariffs by Wednesday. Now, the reason they're doing this is because, of course, on April 9th, just a week after imposing these Liberation Day tariffs, Donald Trump said that he'll be pausing them for 90 days. Those 90 days run out on July 8th. So just after Independence Day. As a result, to get ahead of that, it looks like the administration, again, according to a draft of a request seen by Reuters, they're looking to have their countries, various countries, negotiating partners, prepare their best offers for trade as of this Wednesday, it sounds like. So I'll have to wait and see how that happens. But looks like the Trump administration is really trying to hasten these tariff talks. Back to you.
That's interesting. You know, when you post something on Facebook Marketplace and then you're just like OBO, they're just like, you know, this would be like tariff OBO or best offer. I find that kind of funny. But.
Yeah, no, we talked a little bit about that, and yeah, look, I mean, that's why I was saying that joke, not a joke, but I was saying like you can just wait till that July 9th, and then we're going to see what happens, and then that's when, if you haven't made a deal yet, then I guess that full tariff will kick in, and because that's the 90 days is in and around there, and then he made the same promise the other day about China and all this kind of stuff as well. We'll wait to see what's going on with July 9th, which is now just less than a month away. I cannot believe it's start of summer right now. What crazy wild times it is right now. I mean, the weather, like I was saying, is gorgeous. It's pretty windy out, though, but either way, nice outside, that is for sure. I hope you guys are enjoying the show and everything that you're doing here today. DraftKings, I do want to look at that. My focus right now is on Broadcom, though. I still do have a bid to go long. I was actually waiting for the 50-period moving average. That did not come in. So I do have a bid down here as well at 249.30. We almost had that. We almost had that bid down there at 249.30. So if that comes in, watch out. We will take it. But remember, if the market just starts to drip down, like even taking that fill there, if we violate, like we haven't really broke, since lunchtime there, obviously it was pretty back and forth here, but it's really rode this 50-period moving average all the way up. And I know we talk about this, Sharif, we all talk about this on all of the shows, and that is that these are simply just lines on a chart. You can use them for whatever you want. And as momentum is here, I use a 50-period moving average to sort of judge when that trend starts to change, right? The 200 period would just be a great, if it ever drops into the 200 period, then I'm using that more as support and resistance levels. This is more like the trend is now giving it up. So if you're long on here, and let's just say you went long, like maybe on this break, let's just say you went long breaking 249, fine. So you may not want to get out. Well, first of all, you may want to get something out up here, like even right now, because this is definitely a level there, 250, we can see that. But if it breaks this level, then that's sort of when you say, okay, the momentum's now done. So that was now a long. If you've gotten none out, and that's not the way I trade, you guys know when I get into position, it's like mad amounts of outs. But that's something that I'm trying to work on, is potentially holding something until you break that 50-period moving average. So for me, that's a sign right there. So if we can do that, then that would be fine. But remember, like this is all the way down at 40. So like if you're long, even if you're long a couple hundred shares at 249 flat and it's all the way up here, 90 cents in the money, you may want to take some profit, because that out right there is giving back half of what you have, which is probably a little bit too much from the top right there. So we'll have to watch out for that. What's Dragonfly? That just hit a brand new high. DPRO, is that what I just heard there? Yeah, Dragonfly right there just hit $2. So here goes Dragonfly. I just heard that in my ear. So nice move here. Just got going in the last little while. DPRO breaking through $2. Looks like a beautiful coil here. This reminding me of my Target trade that has not been set yet until as soon as Target TGT breaks 100. I like that name. Please remind me if you guys see that, by the way. I guess I could just set up my own alerts. I should probably just do that with eSignal, but there it goes right there. $200 and change for DPO rate, DPRO Dragonfly. Let me just see what that news is here, because we want to get that going. DPRO, is that what I just said? DPRO, yeah, there it is. Oh, we don't have even, Oh, there it is, Dragonfly Inc. Okay, so let's find out what the amount of shares are here. So 7 million floats, that's actually quite large considering some of the names we've seen. 5 million short float, and today's news on Dragonfly, oh, UAV market, okay, buy recommendation by H.C. Wainwright, sorry. That was on Thursday, so I don't see anything on here for DPRO, but it's starting to go Dragonfly on watch right now. Thanks, Benzinga, for that. We do have the Benzinga Pro platform that we'll often use to double check things and whatnot. So, yeah, thanks, Benzinga, for that one. DPRO right now, it's trying to go through that $2 mark, Obi.
Yeah, just hopping into this trade here, but yeah, no, Nvidia kind of chopping near that 138. So just gonna try a little bit of potential reversion to VWAP here if it'll have me here. But yeah, 138's kind of highs. It is definitely counter trend, but I'm willing to give it a little bit of room there and maybe a couple tries as well. So I'll leave that one on and see how that one will do. But yeah, that 21,500, man, we came all the way back to that 21,500. Very interesting. Now again, I might just be anchoring to this price. Maybe it's just all in my head. Who knows? Tinfoil hat, tinfoil suit. But again, from my limited observations that I've had, again, that 21,500 seems to be a little bit of a magnet over the past few weeks here. And yeah, Nvidia chopping around its day highs here. 137.85 is currently trading, and the day high is sitting at 138.12. So we're going to keep that one on a close watch. But yeah, let me know what you guys are trading going into the end of the day. A lot of strong movers, but a lot of chop as well, right? We kind of talk about a lot of these consolidations that have just been grinding for the majority of the day, and don't really want to get involved too aggressively in that one. Chill Vibes saying Meta 700 at the end of the week. Oh boy, Meta. Let's see where Meta's at right now. Yeah, I guess 669. Oh boy, nice. 669.75 current day high. Aggressive strength, and let's take a look at a higher time frame here. You know what? We'll just hop over to the 3 hour just so we can encapsulate some prior bars as well. Oh boy, nice little breakout here. 700, man. 700, 740 are some of these highs. What is that? That's a trend line. Okay, cool. So 740.25s, I think, are these all-time highs? I think so. 740.25s, all-time highs. Yeah, I can think well within range. If only would take probably a couple more days worth of ATR on this one. Let me just quickly check what Meta's ATR here is on my calculator. Boom. It is, I have it down as 16.97 for a 14-day ATR, so almost 17 points. So yeah, well within range by the end of the week if we were to push, even percentages of that ATR every day. So yeah, nice look there. Meta with a huge push to the north, saying Frank Jones. Yeah, we got eyes on Meta, man. Meta's aggressively strong, and VWAP was probably a great place to get involved with on Meta today, because look at how cleanly it holds after it reclaims. Sure, a little bit of a mess off of the open. Nice little push, aggressive strength. So that opening drive, if you had that, oh boy, that was quite nice there. Beautiful reversion and then reclaim. Nice little consolidation. This is what I'm talking about here. This is that confirmation. We break out of that day high. We pull back. We hold that prior resistance as support, not once but twice, and then start breaking out and stepping up. Oh boy, that is some strength indeed on Meta, so definitely worth keeping an eye on there. Hopefully you guys were involved earlier on. I'm definitely not involved. It's moving right now as we speak. A little bit more of a push to the upside. Another ticker that is here and pushing pretty aggressively as well that I do have eyes on is Micron. Micron definitely has a buyer on the tape here, as it's just a slow and steady grind up here. Very unnatural kind of a bid. So just waiting for that order to finish kind of doing what it's doing, waiting for this buyer to step down whenever this buyer or buyers or whatever you want to call it, buying pressure. Once that kind of steps off, I do want to see if sellers step back into this name here on the day. But yeah, one to keep an eye out for. But with chips being as strong as they are and the market being as strong as it is, I do have to be a little bit patient to see and when that price action may or may not come in here.
All right, yeah, I'm still waiting. We are. It looks like we're going to get long on Broadcom right here as well. So here's AVGO. Looks like it's coming in right into our levels. I mean, I might as well say I was waiting at 30s from before, just thinking maybe we'll get that on this dip down in, but maybe we will not. also. It just went into one. All right, you know what? Let me take a small piece here. We'll see if we can just buy a little. Okay, well, there it goes. We got some 49s there, I believe. Yes, so we'll buy a little bit of 49 action there. We'll just punch right in and grab some as it comes into the 50-period moving average. So now we'll wait. I mean, we'll still take some if it does break through our level of 250, but I am also waiting to get a little bit of a dip buy here into 249. So if that happens, I'll still take the 30 level. That's fine. And then I was really just thinking if we broke through there, we talked about the trend change. I don't want to wait for that level. I just don't want to give anything back really today. So I think now right into there, 248. I mean, if I'm going to do that, honestly, I might as well wait for that. I was going to say, like, what about just breaking out right here? All right, let's what is that level? That's 248.80. You know, that's, and what is that? 248.84, 248.44, I mean. Yeah, all right, we might as well wait. All right, I'm going to put a bid then at 249. So I'm going to cancel my 30 bid if this does come in. So this is, I just want to, you know, some of the things that we say on here, sometimes they're missed or whatever because we do a lot of trading. I do think that it's really, really interesting to understand like how stocks are trading at certain times of the day, and then to have, and this is just easy talk, but to understand like where your outs are based on how many shares you have, what the risk is. And we always talk about don't trade your net. I think that's complete crap. I honestly think that you need to, like, you can't just go all in on all of the trades basically all of the time. And that's not talking about trading your net. But what it's doing is if I look over here and I'm having one of the better days that I've had in the last month, let's just say, even if I really, really love this trade, I don't want to load into this. And first, like, hopefully it can go. I don't really want to load into it because just the mental, the fact that I'll beat myself up mentally if I were to give the day back because of one trade that I really liked. When you're trading stock, at the end of the day, you're kind of flipping a coin and just hoping that the coin is a little heavier to the side that you favored. You know, like none of this. We'll have Michael Noss on after hours. We'll have Brian Shannon on. I mean, Brian Shannon basically at the beginning of this rip told me there's nothing that he likes to buy. All right, that was at the beginning of like during middle of April. You know, he had told me, and he just won Educator of the Year on StockTwits. And I'm not calling him out for not, I mean, I'm sure something happened and he switched, but, or he didn't. I'll talk to him about it tomorrow. But at the end of the day, you're not always going to read everything properly, and all the calls that you make are not all going to work out. You know, and I said to Obi, like even this morning, like, man, I wish I had 500 shares up here at Tesla. You know, but I didn't. You know, so it's just like looking back on it, sure, it's what I wrote down. It was the idea that I had and yada, yada. But at 9:35, like if the idea is wrong and just like half of you watching the show probably thought Tesla was a rip and half probably thought it was this move, you know? So it's like if you put on 500 shares there and it goes $2 against you and you're stuck at G, then it's just kind of like, okay, that affects the rest of your trading. So that's where I think that there is an aspect to looking down and saying, okay, I have a certain amount, you know, of profit that I've made today trading, and I want to protect some of that, even though this next trade that I see could be an absolute banger, you know? So that's kind of where I'm at right now with this Broadcom trade, and that is that, you know, I know how many shares we have and how much we're trying to risk for this. If I'm going to get stopped out here at 248.50, I only want to give back the most I do on any given trade. Try to anyways is 20%. You know, so if I'm having a $200 day, then that math, Obi, would be $40. Trying to pick something that would actually work math-wise there. Would be $40. So for this risk, I would say if my stop is going to be 40 cents, then I better not have more than 100 shares. You know, to just sort of match that. So that's part of what I deal with. And that's why sometimes like, why didn't I take more shares? And it's because I think you got to do studies on time of day when you're most profitable, you know, and then rank your ideas. You talk about having A, B, C plays, things like that. Like where do they rank as far as strength of opportunity? You know, and right now, Broadcom actually doesn't even really look that good for a long. I'm still going to try it, but now we're going to wait against this level here, 248.50. If we break through 248.50, then we'll be gone on that one. So that's sort of what we're waiting for here, and we're going to average into this trade at 249 flat, okay, to give us, again, worthy of a 65-70 cent stop here on Broadcom. I think that's decent, a name that I don't normally trade, well worth the risk to reward right there. So that's just a little bit of, you know, what I think about when I'm trying to get in and out of trades, and for sizing wise, the big thing is the 20% thing. Yeah. You know, once you've made your day, it's one thing to, you know, we can risk something right off the open. Yeah. Because then we don't really know, right? But that you can go a little bit higher, maybe 30%, 35%. But like right now, when your day is sort of a little solidified, and we have a number that you're happy with, like if you're only at 10% of it, like if you're kind of playing with candy money, then I think fine, you could maybe risk because you're looking for that. But if you have a decent day, I think part of it is keep it in your pocket, man, because so many times, Obi, trades just don't work out. Yeah. And you want to make sure that when they do, you have that money in there for at least a day. You know, you don't give it all back. So anyways,
I think that's
probably too long-winded there. I apologize.
No, I think it's again not long-winded at all, Sean. Definitely lots of value there. You gotta have a give back rule, right? Yeah. You gotta have a give back rule, and
call it loss from top here.
Yeah, so it's like you're saying yours is 20%. I have one as well. A lot of times I don't follow it.
Right.
But
that's just per trade. If I have 5 in a row, then it's 100%.
Oh boy. No, mine's 30% like overall when I'm following rules. But again, I'm finding myself not necessarily following those rules. But that's the thing. You got to have those systems in place for long-term success there.
Here's Alibaba. Sure. I'm going to get another piece out on Alibaba here.
Yeah.
Just
so
to give people an idea. Yeah, go ahead.
This Micron, man. Micron. I'm just watching this Micron as well. Just straight grind to the upside. We're probably coming into that 100 mark. This is where supply was last week, in and around, what is this, just shy of that 99.80s are those pre-market high double tops, and then the intraday coming in around 99.64 as well on that one there. So Micron got eyes on as well. Nvidia still kind of strong, holding its highs. I know I'm a little counter trend, but again, light and tight is how I'm keeping it there as of right now, as we consolidate around that 138 mark. And yeah, no, I like that. You got to have structures for the give backs when you are up, and you got to have plans for again. Wayne and I talked about this last week as well, because I was like, yeah, I've been in maybe a little bit of a drawdown for about a week or so, and he's like, yeah, there are times where you have to perform some triage, right? Mm-hmm. You got to slow down. You got to assess the environment. You got to have a process in place for when you do get on those I guess those losing runs or anything like that, right? It's going to happen, and like Sean said, you're not going to win every single trade, and more often than not, you're probably losing a lot more than you win, but you're winning a lot more than you lose, if you know what I mean. Right? So your RRs are skewed in such that even though you have, say, a win percent of 30 to 40%, when you win, maybe you're winning 10x the time that you lose, and that kind of makes up for it. But like we talked about last week, what I'm realizing is some of the best players in the game have win rates of 20 to 30%.
You were saying that last week, yeah.
So it's like, do you have the systems in place, and you have the mental aptitude in place to be able to draw down 70% of the time and still stay in the game and stay confident, believe in your process, believe in your playbook, and continue to treat the trade for what the trade is worth. And that is a balancing act in itself. And balancing is not happening here, as there's definitely a buyer imbalance on Micron.
Is there news on Micron?
I don't think there was necessarily news. It's not even doing relative volume, so it's probably somebody who needs to buy who's just buying it up. I have no idea. I don't ask those questions. That's way above my pay grade. The only thing that I'm looking for is, you know what, I'll pull it up here. Wait a minute.
Asking if there's news on the stock is above your pay grade?
No. I was like, who's buying? Right? I don't care.
Yeah, we don't
buying.
know who's
buying.
Like,
maybe it's JPM, maybe it's, Buddy in his basement. Who knows? It could be whatever, right? But I don't think holding up a ticker like that all day is any small player. But let me pull up Micron here, and we can take a look at the tape and the book together just to observe if anything interesting is going on. And right off the bat, without even kind of looking at the book, I can probably tell you that every time it probably dips down 20 to 30, 40 pennies, a buyer price steps up and bids it back up again. Whether they're showing size or doing it on reserves or anything else, we have yet to find out because I haven't been necessarily watching this, but let's watch this together. Nice steady grind here. And again, alongside with the rest of the market, I was telling Sean, I was like, this is the one tech stock right now that I see, it's like, it's aggressively strong. There's clearly buying and it's in line with the market tailwind. So this is now going to serve as a bit of an indicator for me, maybe for these maybe chip stocks or anything like that. Now again, it could all just be nothing, but I'm going to be looking for a potential confluence there of that, maybe looking for the break of the bid. But that 100, man, that 100 is probably on its way here as we start trading a little bit higher. 99.13s currently on the ask there on Micron. Can't stop, won't stop. This Micron bid is absolutely crazy here. So going to be waiting to see if anything changes with any sort of distinction. And if it doesn't, then I will be more than willing to be involved. But these futures, man, look at that. 21,500 hold, pushing up even higher now as we speak.
Yeah, great work there looking at Micron. I mean, some of these names just continue to go, and sometimes they don't need catalysts, right? Just as you said, there's an underlying buyer, and until it stops, that's a good one to look for that reversion. Like the minute you see that
that's straight up playbook.
Exactly. So we'll wait on that. This is why this guy has it up. So wait for Micron to pop in there, and of course we'll hit this, okay, when that comes in, when we think that potentially a top has been found. I'm gonna hit this right now for BABA because we bought this off VWAP, and again, you know, it was kind of just looking at. I'm actually surprised. Like when we had bought this at 11 o'clock, the market was not where we were right now. Right here's 11 o'clock in the market, and now we're all the way up. So I actually thought Alibaba would even be higher than this, but it's not. And the reason why we bought into this was the fact that as soon as this is what sort of sparked right there, battle, then we heard that China and, you know, President Trump and their prime minister, I guess, were going to get together and hopefully talk about tariffs and some of the trade war, you know, talks this week. And I just was like, okay, then I want to try to get some love for Alibaba. And that fell right back into VWAP. Shout out to Brian Shannon again. And that just dropped into right there. And then it's boom, boom, boom to the upside as we continue to go into 115 there. So some more outs. And I just wanted to say I thought I just put an offer. I guess I did not get it. Oh, I put it offer at 95. So we're sitting there right now. Hopefully we can grab that. But for 4 now, not too certain what Alibaba is going to give us. So I'm going to try to get out as we're at a local top right there of 115. So I'm just sitting there, can't even get filled. So hopefully that does come in. All right, Broadcom. I just got a little, I don't want to say tired of anything because I don't think that's the right word, but just took another small piece here. I have like a third of a unit. Like I'm not trying to deal with this too much right now. I'm not happy as you're looking here. We're in it and I'm fine with it. We're flat on the trade, but it's not moving with the market. So that either means there's some get up ready to go on this name, or potentially it just doesn't want to take 250. So this is why it's a quick stop in and around these levels. This is getting higher and higher, giving me a better stop out. So 248.57, now 248.60. I'm still waiting for that 249 fill to come through. Hopefully we can grab that. And when we do, then we'll have a 60-cent stop and we'll be probably in. I'll be in about a unit and a half, okay? Because I'm in about a half unit now and I have another one or so sitting down there. So we'll see what this does to our average price. Probably give us something around the 20s and then we'll deal with it then. So we're waiting for this to come through. 49 flat or so on AVGO. Looking to trade that. We're near the highest spot we've been at all day. Oh, we got that Alibaba, by the way. So we're in and around near the highest spot we've been at all day. Actually, pretty much we're there. So that's my trade there for Broadcom. All right, Tesla's going to rip. We can look at that. The call that I liked was that 240.60. So it's still right there. And again, if we sort of, not going to feel bad about this one missing it, because I do think it's just kind of in no man's land right here. This is the sort of the pre-market low right now for Tesla. So it's got to get going. If you're long sort of on when I was talking about right there, that break, you did get a great hold there on the 50 period. This is a 1-minute chart. Not too many traders are going to trade off a 1-minute chart, but that's what I do. And I don't just do that solely off of a 1-minute chart, but it's a chart that, you know, obviously I like to look at as we talk about that all the time. So there it is right there, 41s. It does resist the 50 period, so that was a great hold. So now if you're long, you can actually activate the shorts right here. 339, sorry, not the shorts, getting out of your position.
Power hour.
Okay, well,
Okay.
understood. We will probably take something like that there to break before you get out. So that's giving you that low again and right there upside. So if you're into Tesla, again, you know, everybody do their own trading, but I think that 339.75 is a decent hold area. Gives you about $1 to work with a lot of upside in this name right now, right? So Tesla into what hour? Power hour. We can see if it wants to hold right there for TSLA. So I do like that one. We're into Broadcom on power hour. So we'll wait to see if that one wants to go. We're still waiting out for NVDA. Okay, people want to talk about some quantum. So I did want to look at Rigetti, guys. I did want to look at all these names. So let's not forget about them. So right now we will look at RGTI again and QBTS. So RGTI, again, they had that offering, I think it was, what was it, Thursday night or so, where we hit that downside after hours, yeah, right into there. So that was the 29th, whatever day that, Thursday night, right? So that was a nice move down. And then we continued on Friday downside, and right now, looks like you're trying to get back up. So it's 12.25 or so for Rigetti. So this is not gonna be a long enough time frame here. Let me just have a quick look at a 5-minute chart. Okay, so that's good sign. I mean, this right here, whoops, you know, all the way down. And now we're finally overtaking that. So that's a nice little level there. So downside really gave us the direction there. This is, again, the 200 period moving average. 1250, 1260. This actually looks like a really good break long right here. 1230, what is that level right there? That's not bad at all, man. 1230 to 1235, I like that break on Rigetti. So anybody's in that, man, I stamp that. Pikachu, I also choose you. And then QBTS, we could have a look over here as well. On Quantum, this is D-Wave, of course, as we talk about first name, Rigetti, quantum computing as well. And then here's QBTS. Also, the names that people like to look at are uranium names, so we can maybe have a look at SMR. But look at this. Buyer in this, anybody? So there's the 50-period moving average again. Yeah, wow. Should have noted this at 1 o'clock, maybe. Anyways, breaking higher there. This is a good one. Neil's a little bit in this now left, and he's going to like to see that as you're back up through 17 right now, looking pretty good for QBTS. Again, now with only an hour left, would rather have things near some key levels, but breaking 17 looks pretty good for QBTS. So these names continue to work, man. That is for sure. What's that level? 1720? What a 1720 break isn't bad. That's kind of where we started to drop off there Friday. So a little bit of a break there. Retake everything from Friday. Sorry, that's from Thursday. Retake everything from Thursday and Friday with this break right there. That's not bad, man. 1720, 1730. So a couple good trades look like they're setting up here for Quantum with Rigetti and D-Wave. So yeah, I definitely like all of those plays as well. So a couple minutes away from some breaks right now. But yeah, that's kind of some more names here. I'm still waiting for Broadcom. It's funny that's a $250 name and doing nothing right now, but that's one that I'm waiting for, QBTS.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of, I guess, if you want to call it pinging the Micron here. Just dabbling with a tiny piece just to kind of get a feel for it. Again, no real sign of a strong selling just yet. But again, going into the last hour, I do want to start kind of poking and prodding into this book just to get a feel for it. Not that I'm going to move it around or anything. I just want to get a feel for it as if I'm in the position here. But yeah, just kind of grinding back up. Again, is it going to hit 100? Well, if it's going to continue to do what it's been doing all day for the last hour, then yeah, if we get that strong market tailwind as well alongside of it, I think so. I think that increases the probabilities as well on that one there. So 138 still consolidating near the highs here on NVIDIA. Still holding and consolidating on top of these 99s as that bid kind of just continues grinding and grinding and grinding up higher. So going to stay patient for that one. Probably going to get stopped out here on this Micron as, again, just keeping it tight. It is a very, very strong uptrend, and I know I am very much counter-trending the stock today. So going to keep that one light. And yeah, like Sean said, I just got to be careful with the give backs there, and then make sure not giving back too much.
I mean, nothing's setting up. We don't have to do anything.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing's too crazy. So while we let those trades run, I just got to make sure I got my stops in for those. Okay, perfectly fine. Let's go through. Let's quickly go through some of the volume leaders on the day and see how those are doing. Now, APLD. Again, we'll go to a 3-minute chart because oh boy, what is that? That's some aggressive hitting of the bid on Nvidia. But is there any follow through? Nothing really just yet, but a little distinct push there into the downside. But again, it could just be like just a little shake and bake on the tape. Could be nothing at all as well. But yeah, APLD, strong push off of the open. Shout out to anybody who had this off of the open. Beautiful continuation and now trading near the highs going into the close. So strong day one on Applied Digital here. Lucid wasn't necessarily involved with this one, but again, it's been moving around here and a little bit to the downside on the day. Ford, again, we kind of talked about this one last week with all those recalls that they had, and they had some earnings. Did they have earnings as well? No, they had some.
No,
they
there
just
were
had
earnings
some
earlier,
recalls, I
yeah.
think. And yeah, nice little flush on the day today. It is doing some relative volume, so I don't know if these guys necessarily had a news on the day, but doing relative volume nonetheless. What is happening here?
Seems like I picked the wrong one. Like now Tesla's going, so this is what I was talking about when I was going through that explanation. It's like, I like Tesla at 340.70. Right now, that's $1, and I don't have it. And instead, I'm sitting here watching Broadcom that's doing nothing. So there you go, right? You can shoot your shot all over the place, but we really like that break right there, 340. It's 347. It was 340.60. Some of you took that on the chat. That's why. And it's like, see, so there you go. This is actually starting to go right now, and you could see Broadcom right now doing absolutely nothing. So, too bad for that trade for now. Anyways, we'll wait to see if it does do anything right there. But hoping that Broadcom can go. It doesn't look like that, but I didn't mean to go over. But doesn't it look like Micron's turning around?
It is.
You're in it now.
Yeah, I started. I said I'm going to dabble.
Okay.
I said I wanted to start dabbling into it there as it starts to show me some stuff. But again, like I said, nothing too convincing yet. But let's see what the futures do. Let's see what the sector does itself. I'm watching all the chips here. Who's turning? AMD is definitely not turning. I don't know if you've seen AMD, but AMD has been absolutely beautiful as well on the day today. Intel with a little bit of a push. ARM and SMCI, both nice grinds to the upside there. SMH, of course, looking very similar. There's a little bit of a breakdown here coming in on Micron. Hello. Is the seller finally in? Distinctly different action. Let's go to right away. Let's go to a higher time frame here. 5-minute. Does the trend break? 15-minute. Does the trend break? Not yet. So going to stay a little bit patient here. But Nvidia is starting to pull back here as well. The futures, let's see if we can catch this 21.5 test once again. But yeah, a little bit of a trend break potential here on Micron. But again, we could just rip right back up to that 100. We're only about a point away from that 100 mark, man. And we've come up all the way from an opening price on of 94.58 here on Micron. So we'll pack our patience, as Sharif likes to say, and just wait for that one to give us an opportunity. Let's see what Adair is up to.
So I want to let you guys know we have officially published our most recent earnings calendars. I post these every single day around 3 p.m. so we can see what's reporting the next day, what type of economic data to watch out for the next day. So this is for tomorrow. We do have some interesting pre-market earnings reports, and post-market we have maybe one of the biggest names this week. It's going to be CrowdStrike coming through at 4:10 p.m. tomorrow. So check that out after the bell with Sean and myself and Brian Shannon on the market recap. Lots of company and industry events tomorrow as well. Tons of companies, including AMD, Dell, and Intel, attending the BofA Global Technology Conference. Then tomorrow at 10 a.m., we'll get Jolt's job openings. If you're looking for economic data, earnings, or companies to keep an eye out for, this infographic has it all. With that in mind, we also have this infographic. This is on Dollar General ahead of its earnings report tomorrow before the bell. It is very blindingly bright. I tried to match it with the color of the company's logo. But what's interesting here is their frequent CEO transitions. In 2022, Todd Vassos, who was a CEO starting in 2015, stepped down. He was replaced for less than a year by Jeff Owen before resuming his role. So interesting look here. You can check this out on X at TTV Research. Back to you.
you very much, Dara. So some selling coming in here, I guess, on NVIDIA as well. Didn't quite get more in at those 138 tops that I have here, but still kind of a little bit of a pullback here. Going into the first, I guess, 15 minutes of the last hour, right? So it's like, all right, how's this, I guess, fourth last, quick maths. Fourth last 15-minute candle. How's that going to print here going into the close? No idea, but a little bit of an uptrend overall as well. So I do have to be wary of that. If we make a higher low, then I do have to kind of step off of this one there. But I do like the Micron. Micron potentially breaking a bid, just not just yet. Hasn't really confirmed. And this is what I was talking about this morning. By the time sometimes by the time you have confirmation, there might not be too much left on the table there, and that's what I've found over time. So it's just like, all right, well, which are the trades I can get into on the confirmation that provide me with better opportunities versus one where the confirmation you're already too late because I'm not the only one seeing the confirmation, right? It's like, all right, trying to find the sweet spot in between those two things is definitely something that I would like to work towards. But yeah. No idea. Got these shorts on a couple of chips, but they're still pretty much consolidating in and around where I got in. So nothing too crazy just yet. But I'll wait. I'll have some patience and see if that'll come into fruition. This is more than likely, again, like I said, more than likely not going to work. But if it does, I'll be there along for the ride for that one. This Micron bid, man, that all day bid. Come on. Buddy's been buying all day, so it's like, all right, either I want to see what we do in the last hour, the last half hour, or maybe even into the close. If we continue this strength into the close, then maybe imbalances could be something I could be watching as well. But yeah, an aggressive buyer all day, unusual buyer is kind of how I classify this as, again, a little bit of, I would say, unnatural action there. As we're straight to the upside, no real consolidations, no real pullbacks there, and just a straight buying to the upside. So an imbalance of demand on Micron. What do you got going on?
I was making sure, just double checking. We do have Michael Noss tonight, so I'm just getting all that set up with only 50 minutes left to go. All right, so it's not embarrassing. Everything is fine. But Broadcom, I was bidding 249.02. It went down. I thought I was going to get it. It went to 249.03, okay? And I didn't cancel my order. I thought for sure we were going to get it. I didn't get it. So I punched a small piece at 15s there because I was just like, I don't even know if we got 15. What did we get? We got 15s, yeah. So I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe, like, there it is right there. It went to 03. We were at 02. So if we had that, our average price would probably be around here, which would be a little bit better. I still think it could come in. I just want to, sometimes you miss those trades. And that came in right there. The good kind of news is that right here for our stop, and I guess I can cancel the 250 break stop right now because I don't know if that's going to come in. But right here, we're going to wait to see if we can get something going now on Broadcom to the upside. And there's nothing I can do about it, but let's just wait to see if that does break. And then we're going to get our stop out. I'm going to put it in right now. 248. Actually, I don't, if it breaks the 200 period, I'm just going to get out of it. Like, I'm feeling fine about that. 248.60s. So we'll get out of that. 248. Okay, let's just go to 48. All right. Whatever. We'll get a little slippage there. If it does go to the downside, that's not going to be slippage because that's actually what I'm calling for. So if it does come back into there, you know, we'll take a piece. You know, maybe let's take a piece here. I'm still fine with it at 49. All right, we're wasting a little bit of time there looking at that. Alibaba still the same price as well. All right, let's go. What other names you guys want to do? We've actually already looked at Micron. I know Obi's in it, but I'll give you my play for it. Breaking right here, I'm going short. So I actually put that at 79. It looks like now it's a little bit higher right there. Now it's 85. I want to see a complete break of the 50 period. I know my guy's already short right there, but I want to see a break right there to bring this back in for Micron. So if that breaks, we are also going short Micron. And it's going to be, I know it doesn't make much sense to be short Micron, long Broadcom, but if that does happen, that's something that I want as well. So that's just my trade. Obi's in at obviously a better price, but if it does break through there, then we'll take it and then we'll probably hold that into the close. There was some love there for Meta earlier on as well, 672. We talked about where that was going. That seems to be gone as well now to the upside. Up 4% today goes Meta. Wow, well outproducing the market and just like hold my beer, says Meta. That's for sure. And that just keeps on working. So good job there for META. Anybody that's on that name knows what's up there. All right. All right. We got Jolts tomorrow. Yeah. I mean, if the jobs number, some action, obviously, that we're expecting there with some of the jobs numbers, but you know, it's not non-farm payroll or anything. So we'll wait to see what happens with that number tomorrow. Powell came and left at noon or at 1 o'clock with really nothing happening at all to the market. So right now so for 1 o'clock, we got to go back here to noon. That means, and this is what it did when he took the mic. Or took the podium, wherever he was speaking there, nothing. Started to trend down a little bit, then boom goes a dynamite there. Okay, back to the upside. So there we go. We do have Broadcom right now. We just got our, what did I sit at this time? 05s? I did bump it up. We went to 06s. All right, so we have a full position that I'm willing to take right now, exactly where we thought. Remember we said about 249.25 or so. That's the average price that we've got in there. So I'm pretty happy with that. This is now at 65s. Let's just switch it now because we do have our position. I'm going to switch it to 248. 59. If we break that, which looks like here it comes in right now, then we're going to go short. So, sorry, we'll get out of this long. We won't go short. We'll get out of this long. We just tried it. It really got me excited at 250. The fact that we didn't break 250 probably was a sign that we should have probably bounced out of this instead of trying to catch this, because here comes the move back in. I'm assuming your Micron's going to be working out well. So here we go, man. Hands off the mic. If we get hands off the mic, hands off the keyboard. If we do get stopped out, our price is coming in right now. Doesn't look like Broadcom wants to hold very well. Here comes a nice move back in. This could be the L that we were trying to avoid, but needless to say, maybe taking anyways. So right now on Broadcom, not looking like a huge trade for me, looking the opposite, as we're about 10 cents away from getting stopped out. We'll be down 50 cents, and it will be perfect, man. We will give back, well, not even. We'll probably give back about 10 to 12% of the day. We'll have to see after this what price we get, but not a great trade there for Broadcom. Should have left it alone. Los Poilers Hermanos in the chat there goes, like, maybe you've never really seen me trade Broadcom before. Good idea, maybe leave something alone if you've never looked at it. Yes, and I agree with that, and we talk about that all the time, but I was more excited for a 250 break that never came through, and then we started playing off the 50 period. Once that broke, it seems like it was pretty easy, right, to go that way. So, yeah, we definitely screwed that up there for Micron, but we are now in to, again, not a huge position, but let's try Micron breaking through the 50 period right there. We'll see what kind of legs this one has. Hopefully this will come back into the downside for us, but we could run into some back-to-back losers right now. Broadcom trying to get back upside. Let's see if Micron, which should have its own sort of ideas here, hopefully this name continues to move down. I know you've got a good one there, Obi, so both you and I will be cheering on for some Micron right now. I'll be getting out if this breaks above 99. Very, very simple trade for me. We've got 99 problems, and today Micron won't be one of them. So we'll wait. We'll get out of that if that does break down. But here we go, Obi. Here we go.
There's that confirmation I was saying.
Yeah, exactly. And I waited for that confirmation.
No, it's happening right now on that sell. Like just right before you said.
Right.
Like,
the 50 period.
Just like
for me.
I'm just like, okay, well, what confirmations could you potentially use again for using like a trend break, right? Again, simply, I just drew like a line here, and this is the confirmation of trend break, right? Now let's see if there's follow through on this confirmation. I kind of got involved a little earlier above 99s, and then getting involved again on the confirmation through, I guess, this structure break. Let's see if we get that follow through. But again, if the bid has been aggressively strong, this could find a bid anywhere here. There are literally no significant consolidations on the way. Either you come all the way down here, or there's a random place we kind of stop in. 96.69 is VWAP as well, so maybe a little bit of a chop here, just above that. But let's see if we get that follow through. Again, coming into the last, 40 minutes of the trading day. Again, we could very easily continue that bid. You can see that there are strong stocks that have kind of been holding structure and keep bidding up right there. Some examples of them are Microsoft, Amazon right now as well, currently trading at day's highs, printing some fresh highs as we speak as well on Amazon. Tesla with a little bit of a slow curl as well. Nvidia still trading near its highs there as well. I know I'm short that one, but again, still pretty strong holding those structures back to back back over and over again on NVIDIA. Look at this softy. This is what I was talking about on softy. Nice little grind, holding that VWAP as well. And then another one, again, Amazon again. Look how strong this one is. Much, much stronger than the rest of them here, pushing some fresh prices on the day. Let's take a quick look at Meta as well. Oh boy, yeah, that bid is quite nice as well. Not as clean as Micron's there, but definitely significant kind of a push there. NVIDIA, let's see how much further that's pulling back here. VWAP's all the way down at 136.80. Sean, I don't know if we're going to get there, but again, if we're going to kind of come in and test some prior structures, I have this prior low on watch at that 137.12, and that kind of a bit of a double bottom area, maybe a place of demand. This was resistance, and then it turned into support a couple of times. Let's see if we can kind of revert to the mean, and that mean might be the support and the resistance from a little earlier here. What is Micron up to? Let's take a quick look at that one. Okay, so we're kind of a little bit of a follow through, but again, I want to see that halves break, 98 halves, and then actually push through, and then maybe even a bid that can't follow through, and then we make a lower high for the first time during the day here as well. That's some stronger confirmation as well on Micron. But again, that's what I'm watching for. Let's see if it'll come into fruition here going into the last hour. What's going on? You just hit the fail button?
I did. I hit the fail button on myself because of Broadcom. Broadcom just we used to have like a throwing up button. Not appropriate. But there it is. So yeah, Broadcom, we mess with it, man, and yeah, not good, not good. We're still doing well today, but as soon as we got stopped out of Mr. Micron there, we wound up going the other way. So we right now just wound up taking some out on Micron. So is this because I didn't want to get stopped out on a possible Nasdaq and semi flush there without getting out of something. So I got out of 15% of Micron. As soon as I got triggered out of Broadcom, I went right over to Micron and took that bid at 65. So we took 12 cents there. You know, we're not, if I would have covered it all, we would have covered half of our hit there on Broadcom, but instead we'll suffer the fate right there and just take out a little bit. Our stop is right there at 99, so if it does come back up, we're gonna watch out for that one. I'm pretty happy with getting stopped out of Broadcom where we did. We could have actually made a little bit lower. We were gonna look for 50s. We wound up actually getting 55s, but so that's a decent amount of slippage. As our first thought there, I think was, oh no, it was 59. So only 4 cents of slippage. That's all right by me. So we'll watch out for that and take that. So good trading there on, not good trading on Broadcom, but pretty good execution as we don't get too much slippage on that. We did take out some more on, oh no, we didn't. Oh, I got missed. I thought I got filled there. I was waiting at 05, but we did not make that trade. We did not get filled there on Alibaba. So I think we'll take out some 92s now if we can get that one. What's up, Savage, man? Thank you so much. We just got some 92s there. So there's the fill there on 92. Thank you so much. Love the show and all you guys do. Thank you so much. Thank you, Savage, for that one. You're awesome as well. And thanks for the $10, man. You didn't have to do that, but Savage too. Let me know if there's any symbols you want to look at, man. You don't super chat again. Just let me know in the chat. And if I missed that Bears versus Bulls, please send me a note because we are looking to get involved with some of our viewers, right? And so if that does happen, let me know if there's anything you want Savage to look at. We can look at that. And ooh, yeah, the Randy Macho Man right there from, you have any favorite wrestlers of the past, or was wrestling as a sport, so therefore not?
I mean, I think we've talked about this. Like, I used to kind of like it as a kid, but then my parents were like, no, turn that off. So I'd kind of watch it when they weren't.
Meanwhile, I take my kids to wrestling events.
Yeah, because they're like, fighting is not good. It's going to make you more aggressive.
Fighting
like,
bad.
No.
Play more video games.
No.
And now all you talk about is headshots and sniper scopes and all that. So good job. They're raising Obi. No, you did raise a fine young man for sure. But maybe fake wrestling might have been better than watching scopes and whatnot.
Hey, but later on in life, they were more than cool with me joining Muay Thai. Yeah, it's in a more controlled environment with a little bit more.
Oh, that's a discipline there for sure, right?
And I don't know. Wrestling's a little more, it's more entertainment, I'd say.
Of course, I mean, it's World Wrestling Entertainment, WWE is what it's all about, right?
Yeah. So, what was it? What's the difference between the E and the F?
One was trademarked Wildlife Federation, WWF, World Wildlife Federation.
Okay.
So WWF.
Oh, so they weren't. So there wasn't.
I think they were using it. I think they eventually had to settle.
Okay.
But then it was like we're changing it over to E because they started entering. I mean, again, I think that was also part of the reason was the entertainment factor. They started getting into many more things, not just the wrestling. Like they have that streaming and all of that, and just tons of merchandise and things like that. So I think that was probably a decent reason why there. But who knows? I don't know.
Okay.
The more you know, or the less you know, sometimes is good as well. There. All right. All right. What's up, Jag? Shout out right here. Oops, what are you saying, Jag? I don't know. We like Jag, so I'm just going to call this up right here and see. Hats off to you, Sean Katina. I have no idea how you have the speed to catch 10 cents on a 250 stock. Yeah, well, it is what it is. But most of that is we have to do. I want to give credit always and forever to our platform, right? I mean, here at Real Trading, I've been here for 24 years. I teach the platform, pretty much know most of the execution situations here. I mean, I don't know everything about all the chart. It keeps on changing, obviously, for us here, but this is a platform built by traders for traders. So it allows us to trade any symbol and, set up all the stop orders and all of the keys. And here, I'll just show you something, Jag, because you mentioned that. Anybody in Canada or anything like that is interested in Trader TV Live and Real Trading and sort of the platform that we use, definitely available to anybody outside of the United States. So definitely look up. And if I say definitely again, then please shoot me. But you can look it up on in our description, Real Trading. If you're outside of continental USA, you are eligible to sign up. And I just want to show you the keyboard setup right here. So we have the ability, again, to hit many different gateways. I'm just going to call, here, I'll just do it live for you. These are all, we're doing it live. These are all of the markets. Look at all the regions. So Europe, Asia, North America, right? So just in North America alone, Amex, Bovespa, which is Brazil, CBOE, the CSE, the Canada TSX, the Venture Exchange, CBOE Canada, which is what we've showed you before. We've had them from CIBC coming on the show as well to show us different availabilities over there. Chicago CME is there, so that's the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Then we have our crypto offering as well, which isn't the greatest. That's being worked on. We have Forex as well here. We have the Mexican market. We have the mini Forex. We have the Nasdaq, NYMEX, New York, and then the OTC pink sheets, which is OTC markets, right? And then over here in Europe, I mean, let's go again. I'm not going to go through everything, or maybe I will. Amsterdam, Brussels, Copenhagen, everything is all here. Eurex, right? That's the futures over there. ICE futures in Europe. LSE, everything. Milan, Oslo, Paris, Vienna, Warsaw, Zetra as well. And even on the Asian markets, you're not going to see any, first of all, Blue Ocean, for some reason, is listed in APAC because of the timing of the region. So we'll say welcome to Blue Ocean over here. Hong Kong futures, Hong Kong, Indonesia, Japanese futures, Malaysian futures, Singapore futures, Thailand as well. I thought we did have the Saudi Arabian market. So I don't know, maybe they're offline for now, but we did have them. So that's coming in again. So let's just go back over here to North America just to show you what my keyboard looks like. So if we just go over into NASDAQ, these are all the different options I have. There's ARCA, there's NASDAQ, there's EDGX, there's NYSE, there's BATS, different EDGX keys, different stop orders and all of that, different cancel requests. We have different cancels. Look at the different cancels. Oldest, newest, all, closest, furthest, mass cancels, everything. Just like it's for traders by traders. So and just to your point, Jag, when I'm getting out there on Broadcom, when that slipped up right there, it's just we have good stop orders, and that's where I was able to get out of that trade. Now, whether or not it was a good out or not, I don't know, but that's what we were doing there, and that's part of it, right? So yeah, there it is, man. Got it. Here you go, Erie Pages. So you must be with us as well. You must have just been seeing that. Yeah, I do not have MIAX, and I do know it's better fees, but excellent executions. Okay, well then maybe we'll have to look there because I am always looking to gain some more rebates as well. So there it is, 21 cents per 100 shares. So ARCA, I think, is only like $1.80, so 18 cents. So maybe MIAX, something to look at.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've known
that.
Yeah, I know all about that gateway. So yeah, thanks Erie Pages and thanks Obi for your support of that gate as well. And sometimes you'll hear I use that word because Obi always says gates. So and that's what we mean when we're doing that. Like, what's your execution
what gauges you,
and what gateways sort of are we using there. So yeah, I'm waiting for that gateway to heaven with this Micron. Oh, actually, it's going the other way around here with this Micron trade, maybe back into the gates. Oops.
This is what we said we wanted to see, right? We want to see a bid come in and then that fail to follow through to really confirm. It's like, all right, well, buying is actually done.
Am I starting to feel like some kind of ways here, or are your hands not that bad? My hands feel cold.
Yeah, I'm a little,
okay, freezing says remain.
It is definitely a little colder
than are kind of talking.
And it was, but these positions are heating up. So I just got to be like,
oh boy, here we go. Yeah, they're starting to heat up.
But yeah, no,
cooking.
I was kind of quick to the keys as the futures kind of pushed a little bit higher, but then we started wicking. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna be a little patient. I got my trigger fingers at the ready. But yeah, let's see what comes into this market. So things are starting to get a little choppy as we go into, or we start that last half hour of the day. So the last 30-minute candle started printing just now 10 seconds ago, and the second last 15-minute candle as well. So let's see if we can get that pull back into VWAP. Let's see if Micron buyer buddy steps back in or not. I have no idea, but these futures still kind of grinding slowly to the upside here. NVIDIA kind of just kind of chopping and holding some of these prior levels here. So again, I'm going to stay patient, just keep an eye out and watch. And coming into the close, I don't know if we're going to get as aggressive as a reaction as we did on Friday going into the close. If you guys observe, and you guys might be asking, oh, what happened there into the close on Friday? Very strong close. It was an MSCI rebalance. You can look that up for those of you who want to know what that is. But yeah, a little bit of a balancing of the books. There might be some imbalanced pressure, and we saw that buy pressure come in across the board there on these here markets. So let's see. That was an aggressive buying pressure. Let's see if we can get some sort of directional pressure into the close, but I'm not really expecting too much, as again, today is not an MSCI rebalancing day, but you never know. Do they ever have residuals left over from that day that still need to kind of be worked on, or maybe they initiate the position that day and or initiate the rebalance that day? How does that work? Do you know? Do you have to have everything done by the end?
Way too long of a word for me. So.
Like leftovers. Do they have leftovers? Okay, so it's like if I had to sell X percentage of whatever of Google on, or so I had to buy X percentage of Google on Friday, which we saw happen, and I'm like, I'm not done buying. Where would you do that? You would do that off the open probably.
I mean, I would think that, yeah, sometimes, and I was just playing about the residual thing, but yeah, I do think that you always want to look at the rebound, at the imbalances and stuff like that, maybe off the open, and see, we can even look to see if there was maybe an increased amount of size there this morning, and it was kind of choppy in the morning. We did talk about that, but no, I think most of those orders would probably get done, you know, on that day. I mean, the way that executions now work in the market, I mean, they're pretty efficient. These guys, you saw that market on closing trade. You know, there was some definitely.
There is efficiency.
There was some size there for sure. So, all right, here we go, man. We are now, and I know you're already in this, but let's go. We're now making the exact same amount of money right now, if I were to cover this, as we gave up on Micron. So on Broadcom. So here goes Micron right back in. I'm going to bid something here. I'm waiting for 50s, but I'm going to punch out some at 55, and then still wait for that 50s. We do have a couple fills now. I'm just trying to, again, we broke through that level. We waited for a pullback in here, and we have it now. So let's wait to see if this wants to be true to us and give us those levels. So if Micron can come in and give me 50, great, and then we'll wait for a lower low, and then we'll wait to see if there's any imbalances coming through. And you just mentioned it, so let's do it right now. This is what we're seeing. So this is a leftover buy imbalance. So HCTI, 181 million shares, under a penny. I don't know why it never all got done at 9:30 there this morning. But there just might have not been enough people. Where is 9:30? Yeah, the opening print coming in at pretty hot there. Looks like almost about a couple million shares there. So that's about what we did right there. So yeah, it might have not been enough to pair this off on HCTI, right? So that's why that's still there. So all of these new names, and there's another one, Lucid. Oh, Lucid had a sell imbalance off the open as well. So that's interesting. But right now, CNH, okay, TRP, AA, Alcoa is there. There's Ford right there with a buy. So some buy side action here into the close. Bristol Myers is there as well into the close. So that could be something as we wait to see what's going on with Bristol Myers into the close as well. But let me zoom over. Yeah, nothing happening. So right now, a relatively quiet imbalance locator. Remember when we called this thing up on Friday, we started with we thought Bank of America was there and it was small and it was like 5 million or something. And then someone, I think, fat fingered it and put it to like 15 million or something. And then it was back down in. So on Friday, there were millions of shares right here. Now you just have hundreds of thousands. So yeah, not as, active there into the close is the imbalance locator today. So we'll wait. Mine into the space, I really like ABV actually. In this space. So ABV is something to look at for me anyways in the space. I really like this name. Coming off the bottom a little bit. We did bounce off the 200 period. We're going to wait to see where ABV gets going to and from. I did hear a call for, oh, you know what? Say that again, Andre? Yeah, okay, so I'm not even hearing you at all. So I'm going to adjust this right now, load back in, and then go over to Adara.
Great move here for Cantaloupe CTLP. This one is a small cap, about $667 million market cap, 50 million share float. This one running here, I'm seeing this circulate on X. Apparently the company is seeing multiple takeover bids as a final deal approaches. So takeover on watch here for CTLP. This one just reached 1 million shares traded on the day, so fairly light liquidity. Back to you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Adara.
Yeah, I'm in this short, man. And the thing is, like the bids are getting hit.
Yeah,
It's very clear, especially on Micron. And I turned to Sean earlier today and I was like, well, Micron is very clearly getting bid up. Everything else is pretty choppy. So I think Micron might serve as a little bit of an indicator for a potential turn if the market starts to get a little bit, pushed around, but didn't really come in here. But the chips are definitely taking a little bit of a pullback here. We got that. Again, this is what I mean. Right, this is confirmation. That's all the way in the 83s. Like it's not really going anywhere right now. There's no real follow through just yet. Now we still have about 25 or 24 minutes left in the trading day. But again, normally, like if we had a lot more time, maybe this would have enough time to come all the way down into VWAP, all the way here for a nice little 50% of retracement, or even like a 30% retracement there. But it is coming in now. Let's see how much further it can get into. I did cover majority of that of both NVIDIA and Micron as we started kind of like chopping around here, 21 halves on the Nasdaq. So I do want to stay a little bit nimble, but Micron I like a little bit better. That gave us almost, I guess it gave us 50 pennies, right? Off the 99, above 99 to 98 halves right there. So quick little scalp on that one. But yeah. That's what I got on watch. You got something for us, Sean?
Yeah, we got something for you guys. And the thing is that it's that QR code that's up on your screen right now. Please make sure you do sign up for eSignal. Traders, it's the first month and it's free, right? And so I think that's a no-brainer. We're waiving that fee. Work harder, trade with elite, work smarter, not harder, or work harder and smarter. Both seems good to me. Upgrade to this elite trading experience now. Strategize, analyze, capitalize. The platform has everything. Infinite data, instant trading, lightning fast market insights, including the fact that if something's not like giving me updates immediately, I just reset the platform. That's how much we like it. Back testing applies to over 50 plus brokers as well. Real-time data, global markets. I just showed you all the global markets that are available here at Real Trading. This is why I have eSignal. I've had it for over 20 plus years, because if you're looking to trade Amsterdam or any of the markets, Blue Ocean, whatever, all available here at Real Trading, all available also on eSignal. So make sure you do grab that, man. If you're ready to elevate your trading, scan that QR code right there. Grab it for a month and then let us know how you like it. It's eSignal, and then just cancel it immediately after that. I mean, no harm nor foul in doing that. All right, Obi, I know you and I are looking for different things here, but I'm going to take some more out here at 58 on Micron. We did get out of everything on Alibaba, and this was honestly a very, very good trade for us. We will fire off this face slapper. My guy Joe's not here, but this is one of his favorite ones there, the face slapper. That was a good one for us today. VWAP up into the high of the day. We'll take that over and over again. And then there's our out. We just took it a couple minutes ago, and then we fell back in. We took one there at the 50 period, and then one out there at the highs. So pretty happy with that trading there on this name. It's Alibaba. Good job there. Hopefully we do come back in a little bit and able to buy that again. But right now with only 20 minutes left, right now it's Micron's world and we're all living in it. We've got a nice short on there right here. We are now back to virtually no loss from the top right now. And it's been a very, very good day. I've traded about 6 names. We could review them all after, but for right now, we got to go over to the desk and see what Adara's up to.
aware here, Wall Street Journal reporting that Snowflake, SNOW, which is, as you can see here, near days highs, is apparently looking to, or I guess agreeing to acquire a database startup called Crunchy Data for roughly $250 million. I tried to look up approximately what the valuation of the startup is, but I couldn't find anything. Just be aware here, Snowflake here with an acquisition, not moving the stock too much, but of course we do have a lot of these cybersecurity names on watch. CrowdStrike reporting earnings tomorrow after a lot of these other names, including Snowflake, reported over the last few weeks. So again, Snowflake eyeing a $250 million acquisition of Crunchy Data, according to Wall Street Journal. Back to you.
That reminds me of Crunchyroll. You know what that is?
Crunchyroll. Yeah, of course. That's the anime streaming site. Yeah.
Bang. See?
Yeah. I'm like, I know that from somewhere.
You know.
Yeah.
I might look like just like 35, but you know, really at heart 25. You know.
That's fair. Yeah.
With the Crunchyroll.
Oh wait, what just happened? Oh, I had a cover for Mike. Oh, come on.
You know why? Because I think my son. I think it's a little bit a month for
so
that.
you do have the subscription.
Well, I don't have anything, but my son has it.
Right, fair.
I go the other day, I was like, okay, so one of his chores is to empty the dishwasher, right?
Yeah.
So, dishwasher gets full. By the way, my dishwasher broke down finally after 10 years. That's great.
Nice.
But yesterday I'm there scrubbing, getting that in. Oh, by the way, we got Micron there. It was a nice one at 98.50.
I was posted at 49s. I totally forgot. It fails me, and I'm like, okay.
Sorry about that. I might have held that up at 50, but no. We got the fill there. No. And he goes, and then he's always asking for more. Like he wants because we don't get him everything, but most things, if they're reasonable, right there. He's watching One Piece on Netflix. And he's loving that. So he's been using Crunchyroll for a while, and he shares it with his friends. Like that was the one thing that he told. Yeah. So as soon as I heard that, I was like, cool.
Have you heard of solo leveling?
Yes, I went and saw the solo leveling in the theaters, Obi.
It was in the theaters?
Yes.
No way.
Look it up.
Wait, the whole season?
I don't know. It must have been the first season. I know all about solo leveling. I went to.
So you watched the whole thing, like he where he fights the.
Well, it's a movie. There's a solo leveling movie.
There's a solo level. Really?
Yes, it just got released in 2024. I went to watch it in like the AMC, in our Cineplex.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, man.
I did not know that.
I mean, do I know solo leveling?
Like, damn, that's pretty.
I don't really, but yeah, I mean, I've and that's what I'm saying. Like, I like to do those kind of things. Yeah. Anyways, he goes. I said, well, now, so in order to get more opportunities, more funding secured for yourself,
yes.
You now need to load the dishwasher. You go, no, I don't want to get too dirty, blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. He doesn't want to, he'll unload the dishwasher, but not load the dirty dishes back in there.
That's fair.
So no, it's not that. It's not that fair. He needs to be loading that dishwasher up, man. I got
the weekend
right there.
us.
But here we go, man. The weekend is calling, at all times. So there it is right now. Nice move to the downside for us. I can't feel my face with this trade as Micron making its move back in right there as well. So.
Yeah, I'm waiting for some of these prices to get 6 feet under here for another push down into VWAP. So I don't know. There's a nice fill on Micron. Nvidia's working well. Micron a little bit of I guess I had posted for a little bit there that got me out of the rest. Didn't really want to necessarily do that because I'm like, we finally did break down that half. We were looking for that half for a further push down. If this trend here, again, let me just draw a line on this market right here. If this little trend on the Nasdaq cracks going into, I guess, the next 18 minutes or so into the close, then yeah, maybe we're poised for a little bit of a flush down here on Micron as well. But again, Nvidia working pretty well. I did not get into full size. I even thought about it here where I was just like, okay, we are testing 138. This gives me a chance to really tighten up and push in. And then I looked away for like, 1 minute? And then kind of pulling back in through that 138. I'm like, all right, well, I have what I have. And it is what it is. Just wait and sit on your hands is what I told myself, and I guess that's working out okay here. Didn't really chase into it, but Micron again, that 99. I guess add on the confirmation I think was good. We're getting that follow through coming in on Micron now, so good stuff, Sean, on holding that one there. But oh boy, what a reversion! Absolutely textbook reversion happening on Micron. No idea if it's going to come in for a full follow through, but let's see what Adara has to say.
Keep an eye here on Freddie. Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae. We do have, I guess, an interview here with the director of the FHFA. That would be Pulte, Director Pulte. He's apparently saying in this Fox Business interview that Freddie and Fannie are both, quote, immensely valuable, but that specifically Freddie Mac going public will be up to Donald Trump. So keep an eye specifically here in FMCC, though FNMA, Fannie Mae, also, of course, on watch here. Back to you.
I mean, this is what we're doing, Obi.
Oh boy.
This is what we're here for, man. You know, yeah, nice move down there on Micron. I mean,
Right.
this is what we're doing here every single day.
Look,
Make sure you
no
do hit
hands.
the like. I know it'll be different. Tomorrow will be Neil. He'll trade a little different than us, but you know, great trade there as we look to continue to put up some numbers here for everybody. As there goes Micron, and you know, in my vein, we'll punch a little bit out here at 35 as we continue to make new moves there on that one. And again, it's just kind of like what we talked about before. You know, stop out of the trades that aren't working and try to let the ones that are working work, right? And so that's what we're trying to do. Just a quick little look on FN and FMCC as. Just because this is the one, I mean, it's also Fannie Mae. I'm looking at Fannie Mae right now, and none of them are doing anything. So here's FMCC, but what a move up they've recently had, just trying to break through there. And likewise with FNMA. Remember, these are the heads of these things talking. They probably want them public as well, right? I mean, how many friends they probably have in these names, so on and so forth, wanting to get these names public, bring some money back. If that does happen, Bill Ackman wrote a paper on these, $30. So you can go back over, look at Pershing Square and Bill Ackman's thought on Fannie Mae. These were $1 a year ago, right? And so here it is. We'll see when it loads up. There it goes. So even lower than this. That's $2. Here it is. So this goes back even just to September. We were at $1, almost $1 flat, $1. Yeah. So September, August, you know, so now you're up to $10, $11. That's a 10 bagger right there. Anybody watching out for the mortgage side of things there with Fannie and Freddie. So yeah, a bunch of good looks there as we go. But yeah, it's Micron right now. And oh boy, this is the one, Obi. Let's go. I know you're in this right now as well, but this is how I like to do it, man. Just start piecing things out as we get in. So there we go. We just take a 25, piecing them out as we go on, stacks on stacks on stacks for today. So that's what we're doing. Good trade, man. We waited for the confirmation break. Boom. We get it. Never goes against us, not even 1 second. And there it is. Nice downside play there to end the day. So hopefully we can keep going. Yeah, people saying in the chat that Solo Leveling movie was like a recap of season 1.
Ah, okay.
Basically.
Okay.
But it was still like an hour and a half. It was really cool, man. I actually starting to like some
Look, the animations are getting pretty cool.
I like it. I mean, he likes it. I like going with him to watch all that kind of stuff. So yeah, lots of fun there.
Good stuff. But yeah, that Micron came all the way down, printing almost a quarter lower there. I know my stop was just above that day high in the 20s there, and now we're trading. That was 99.20s. We're trading 98.20s on a trend break on Micron. So again, lots of I guess opportunities to go around. Yeah, hopefully you guys are along for the ride as well and learning along the way, just like I am here. Wow, Nvidia is still pulling in here. So 50s, 37.50s, a bit of a bounce there off the 30s. So again, I'm going to probably, it is 47 right before the imbalances. So I'm going to get out of that one. Thank you, come again. We'll wait for these imbalances to show up to see if there are any more opportunities on board. Yeah.
Yep.
Nothing else for me, man. Absolutely crazy. If you had longs in this market, I mean, there's a lot of things that worked really, really well. I mean, Micron being one of them, right? And I'm like, I guess that's partially the reason why I like it for the reversion, because I'm like, I'm pretty sure there are definitely short-term longs on this on the intraday, and if and when they do start taking profits, I do want to get involved. And all it is looking for that action, that price action that is distinctly different than what we've been doing for the past, I guess, a few hours there on Micron. But yeah, definitely one worth getting involved with. Quick little scalp, right? It doesn't give you anything crazy. The long gave you all the way from, again, even if you were late to it, maybe you took an opening range breakout hold that happened. It happened all the way at 11:30. So you didn't even have to get involved in the morning session right there. We talk about a breakout of those highs, nice little consolidation on top. Maybe you're getting in this 95s and change, risking to this recent low at that 95.40. Sure, it's in retrospect, but again, that's how it kind of panned out, and that gave you all the way from 96s to 99s. That's 3 points of a grind all the way to the upside, but it pops down a point or almost $1 within, I guess, about roughly 45 minutes or so. So want to keep an eye out for. No idea if this bid's going to show up again tomorrow, but again, definitely going to be on my watch list for tonight because of what it's been doing all day today. So Micron was one of the only ones in the chip sector that really showed that kind of strength here. I'll kind of pull up, you know what, I gotta do that. I'll pull up my basket here. This is kind of the tech basket that I like to watch. Again, nothing too specific about any of these stocks other than I just like the way that they move. I like the way how they're weighted in terms of constituents of the SMH as well. So that's NVIDIA, AMD. You can see how strong AMD is. This was Micron. Micron is the only one here looking distinctly different. Look at those prior bar holds on all of those candles. Absolutely beautiful. Sure, the chip sector did bid up on the day, but nothing really bid up like Micron, and that's why I really like that one there. And I just had to have the patience for the reversion on.
All right, we're now out.
But yeah, what do you got going? Yeah,
I'm just going to sort this. So I got out of Micron as well just before that happened because literally the exact same reason you said. No point in being in anything before that imbalance, and there's our out right there. So that was a great one. We just punched out right there before this market on close imbalance, and there's a nice upside move. So Micron today was to the moon all day, and there it goes right there. Nice upside play for anybody on Micron, that's for sure. All right, so what came in? Ooh, NVIDIA with a sell, so that's a little bit up and down there. Not that many shares, 154 million. Yesterday, last week, sorry, when we had earnings, they were touching out at 300 million for a couple days in a row there. So yeah, not too much happening so far on the NVIDIA front, despite it being one of the largest imbalances to sell. Walmart, I saw, again, good action off Walmart. I mean, today was a great day for them. I mean, nice little afternoon move. I just noticed this right now. Look at the 50 period, whoops. Look at the 50 period moving average here on Walmart. Just wow. Huge move upside. Just keep on trucking, man. 99 bucks all the way to 100. Great job there on Walmart in the afternoon. Apple with a little bit of a sell, but it'll go out near the high of the day. This whole market will go out near the high of the day. And of course, we had optimism today started off early. We did have decent numbers coming through with the factory PMI. Manufacturing came through earlier as well. That was a good one. The TLT was something that we look at with the rates. We don't look at it enough, but something that you can look at. Day's not having a good day today either. As we'll watch out for interest rates, we don't expect any change. I don't think it's the next one's no change, but maybe September is, I believe. So Target soon to be the same way. Okay. Yeah, Target, good look there. I wanted to break through 100 and then we'll buy it. So that's still ways down, man. I do like Target and we've talked about that, but to me it needs to break. So here it is right there, trying to break through that level one more time. What's catching your eye there?
NVIDIA coming into VWAP is...
Yeah, the market is making a little bit of a...
There is somebody pounding into the bid on NVIDIA right now as it pushes all the way down into VWAP. So guess what? That reversion to VWAP finally coming in. Did I hold anything or through these imbalances? I did not. I definitely could have because I covered a decent amount going into them. Could have definitely left this one there with even a break-even stop to 137.80s for the push back down for a potential continuation off those imbalances. And there goes both Micron and NVIDIA to the downside here.
Ooh, Micron really
that's coming in real hot as, again, buying all day. And guess what? Maybe, got to take some profits going into the last 10, 15 minutes of the day. And this is I guess, coming into fruition with a little bit of selling coming into the close here. All day long, buying pressure obviously overweighing that sell pressure. And then that selling kind of coming in here. And yeah, you have to be kind of watching it pretty closely. Again, I had already mentioned it multiple times over and over again that this is a crazy bid. And I do, wow, look at that hole. Oh boy.
Sometimes we get burned.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. So yeah.
That's okay.
Absolutely crazy there.
Yeah, hard to feel any kind of ways on that one, man. I mean, we got out of Micron, thinking that it was against those imbalances, right? And so that's what happens. Sometimes they go for you, sometimes they go with you. Scott Tomlinson, I know you're asking about Target. I'm not buying anything. You mentioned $88. Yeah, I mean, to look at Target on the daily chart there, in and around these levels, looks fine to buy. I was just waiting for this to break. I was hoping that it would coil up and break higher. But, this was an idea I had last week. We've had now 4 straight down days. And, you know, I ran this idea by Scott Tileman from Trade the Pool. I ran it by Brian Shannon. Everybody likes it, but, you know, it still has to work out. And for right now, it's not great, man. You have 4, 5, 6 straight down days. Oh, man. Yeah, that trade is sort of starting to, do this right now. We had it, Obi. That's fine. Look, it's the process, right? Yeah, breathe. You know, it's the process that we had was right. And that's really...
Internal screaming. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, no, but that's true, though. I mean, it does matter, right? I mean, you know, when we have real money on the line and we make these kind of calls, it's great because now, Obi, your trade at least would be dollar club rate. Now we're working our way into that. But hey, if anybody has it, good job. Glad that you do. I basically will be flat. That's why it's fun for me. But we had lost on this basically what we kind of made on Micron. So overall, good. But yeah, it could always be better. As there goes Micron breaking 98 now. But we were dead right about it, man. We said we'd hit the siren and the alarm when we were into it. You got your confirmation early. I waited for the 50-period moving average, and there it was, and there it goes. So Mike,
I didn't wait for confirmation.
I thought you did.
No, I waited for so the ad is the confirmation.
Oh, the ad was
added on the
okay. Well, still okay.
Yeah.
I mean, all right, you did add on it, but you did have a beautiful. You had 90. Else. You had 99.
99.09s or 05,
oh, yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Great trade.
Yeah.
All right, let's go over to Adair, see what she's up to.
Part of the show is brought to you by Trade the Pool. This is one of the most valuable parts of Trade the Pool. It's called VOD, Video On Demand Library, a free resource filled with real trading stories, strategy deep dives, and practical insights to help you grow. Whether you're looking to improve your entries, manage risk better, or just stay motivated, this is where education meets experience. And to make sure nothing valuable slips through the cracks, there's the note feature. See something worth remembering? Click note, write it down, and it stays saved right inside the video. Head to tradethepool.com, tap the trading VOD, and start completely free. Back to you.
Much. Yeah, coming into the last, I guess, 5 minutes of the day here, I got nothing else on board. I guess the trades to hold, again, I'm talking to my pod about this right now. It's like, dude, I got to throw in like an edge A stop or some sort of distinct stop and kind of continue some of these trades into the imbalances and not be afraid of the shake and bake that might come out of them, right? It's like, all right, well, there could be a process to that. And we talked about having certain set processes this morning, and a process that could better help me improve on holding some size into the imbalances is to cover, okay, I want to be wary going into the imbalances because yes, there can be volatility and some shaking around that can happen going into the imbalances. So maybe if I am a little wary, cover 50 to 60% if I haven't covered some already. And if I have covered that much off of the initial position, then throw in that stop and let the trade run. That can be a little bit of an improvement going forward. That's how I can get a little bit better if I am taking the same trade kind of tomorrow. And again, this could have very easily bid right back up. This could have easily, very easily bid right back up. But the idea is maybe how I can tackle this going forward is to cover a certain percentage, a predetermined percentage before that imbalance comes out. Maybe throw in a flat or like a break even edge A or something like that, or an edge A to prior structures. Doesn't even have to be break even at that point. But and then look for that continuation coming in with that volume that comes in with the imbalances there. So price action follow through off of some of those imbalances. Nice little reversion to VWAP, and we're catching a bounce there on Nvidia. So absolutely beautiful. More of the same kind of VWAP holds in the morning session. VWAP hold coming into the end of day session as well here on Nvidia. So absolutely beautiful stuff. And yeah, I want to know what you guys have been trading on the day today. Travis is saying, holding my quantum contracts into tomorrow. Oh boy. Yeah, let's see what the quantum sector's been up to here. I'm going to pull up IONQ to give me a little bit of a perspective here. So yeah, a little bit of a push to the upside here going into the later half of the day. But look, we didn't quite get to day highs just yet. That opening range high is the day high at 41.05s, currently trading at 40.64s. But funny enough, we attempted to break the range low from yesterday or prior trading day didn't quite make it, and then slow grind back up. But if you had a little bit of that short and you took it into the lows, I guess that was nice as well. But yeah, nice little push there. I do want to know what this is looking like on a higher time frame as well. So let's quickly go to a 3-hour chart. Now again, these stocks have been moving around pretty aggressively over the past week or so, and they've taken a decent pullback as well. Again, remember, when was this? This was last Thursday. There, a nice little push, continuation, grind up, and then we catch that flush. We held, so I don't know. Maybe I like that idea there. Let's see if we can catch a bit of a bid, maybe a reversion of this aggressive selling that we got coming in last Thursday here on some of these quantum names. RGTI is another one. Let's see if that one looks similar. Again, looking similar on a higher time frame. We don't really have to go in and delve into any of the shorter time frame chop there. And what was that? What was the other one? There's one more. There's IONQ, Rigetti, and QUBT and QBTS. Yeah, QBTS. There as well. Okay, kind of similar. And then QUBT. Let's take a quick look at that one. Okay, all right. So all of them relatively similar there. Wow, some of that selling coming in the pre-market on QUBT, maybe signaling maybe a little bit of an indicator for some of those other quantum stocks coming in off of the open there. Wow, there's that little bit of a bid coming into the close. Only about 5 seconds there, Sean. Oh boy, I've been speaking for way too long. 3, 2, and 1. Oh boy, thank you very much, Adara.
All right, that wraps it up, man. Yeah, thanks, Adara, for all of that. And it's 4 o'clock right now. Yeah, great show again, Obi. Thank you so much for the last 5 days. For sure, filling in for Neil. Neil will be back tomorrow. And then, yeah, the whole crew will be here. And I don't know. Back there or what?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Good. Okay, so you'll still be here tomorrow. So we'll see Obi walking around in the background tomorrow. And yeah, so that should be fun. We're now flat on the day. The market will end up, wow, 0.73 right now. The ES also, you're not in position? Okay, good. ES also up 0.5. So, all right, I'm going to slide over, join Michael Noss, myself, and Adara.
Yes, sir.
We'll all be doing the market recap show. Michael Noss comes on in about 10 or 15 minutes. We'll call for him. We'll talk to see what he noticed today on the very first day of the month. We'll see if any of those candles got broken or what he was looking for right there. But there it is, man. It says, thank you, Other Zinc. Says, fantastic show. Now it's time for the after party. So I'm going to go do that. You send everybody off and then send it back over there. I'm locked and loaded. It won't be too long, okay? Yeah. All right. Thanks, Obi. Have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Sean, for everything that you do. We saw some solid trading and some solid snipes by Sean in the morning. Again, that Tesla and it was the Palantir as well. Absolutely great. And Google, if I remember correctly, absolute snipes by that one. So make sure you go check that out as well from the morning show. Let's take a quick review of some of the stocks that I traded today while Sean gets set up back there. Again, usually I don't have too many stocks on my blotter. Today I had 4. I traded Google, Micron, NVIDIA, and Palantir. Let's take a quick look right there. So NVIDIA didn't really get involved until the close right there. Nice little quick scalp. Didn't hold it to fruition, as it does give me the target down into VWAP there. Micron as well, quick little scalp. Similar story there. Nice little confluence happening on that one there. And then Google as well. Google, a lot of chop and churn happened on Google. Again, took the trade 4 times, didn't really take it the 5th or 6th time that it potentially comes in. The 5th time was much nicer. And then I guess the last one was, no, I think we covered all of them there. Yeah, those were the 4 that I traded on the day today. So nothing too crazy. Hopefully you guys had a solid day. I will see you guys on Friday. Tomorrow, Neil is back, but don't go anywhere. We got Sean and Adara with the market recap, so stick around, guys. Take it easy.
Obi, yeah, we're here. Adara and myself will be covering this into the close here. Well, the close is now here, but stay with us for the next half hour, and we'll try to recap this market from one desk to another. Adara's here with me, so that's always great. It was a nice upbeat start to the week, that's for sure, and a start to the month. We just had some of the best May, I think it was since 1993 or something. I think it was earlier than that since the Nasdaq, but definitely in the S&P 500. We had such a bad April, so some of that carry forward did happen into May, and then we got that boost up as the taco trade continues to do real well. Here's the TQs today, up 0.86%. I think there's maybe one earnings name tonight. It's not of any value if it does pop around. Actually, the name that's reporting tonight is CRDO. What is that?
Credo. They had a massive move on earnings, so since
yeah.
then I've just liked to put them on our list just in case.
Trying to think about going if and when they do come through.
They don't have numbers yet.
Yeah, smart well, actually, market cap of 11 billion. I was going to say small, but that's
Tariff news though.
okay. Yeah, what is this tariff news?
So this here's the market. Bloomberg reporting that apparently the U.S. is extending its tariff pause on some Chinese goods, does not specify which or how many, until August 31st. So keep in mind, earlier today, we had Reuters reporting that apparently the U.S. has written this draft of a memo telling the countries it's negotiating with to get its best offers ready or best, potential offers ready by Wednesday. Now we're actually seeing apparently the U.S. is willing to extend its tariff pause on some Chinese goods until August 31st. July 8th, to be clear, was the 90-day mark for those Liberation Day tariff holds. So we're going to have to wait and see China, of course, on a slightly different timeline here, Sean.
Yeah, that's why we keep saying July 8th and July 9th there. So we'll see if these do come effect. That's a Tuesday and a Wednesday. But there's the Nasdaq, gaining a little bit more here in the after hours, putting it now at 0.88. We actually went out at about 0.7. So nice move up there for the Nasdaq into the close. We did also have the Dow Industrial Average picking up 60 points or so as well with the diamonds. Nice upside move there to end the day. And then there's that bump as Adair just talked about with some of this. And look at the Dow. Still has a ways to go to get back up to highs. But the Dow being helped out today with a nice move also in UNH. Actually only wound up about 1% there all right. So we were rallying pretty much early there today. Let me drop this into a 5-minute chart, just get a better look on this. So UNH, early rally. And I was like, okay, there we go. But does fall back down into 305 right there. Overall though, cautiously bullish in the markets as we continue to go higher, right? I always think that after a big, huge month like that, this is UNH, sorry, let's look over at the SPY. After that huge May that we had just had, maybe some give up here, but no, we go out today 0.6 on the SPY as well. So good news there to start off with. Go ahead. We have, I was going to talk about U.S. factory orders, but we have more news?
Yeah, I'm just gonna put the revenue in the chat really quickly here. So Credo revenue, $170 million. I was seeing estimates of $160 million. So looks like a beat.
Whoa.
Now it's also up about 26% year over year. So that's why 26% quarter over quarter. It's up 179% year over year. So that is pretty crazy. So again, 179% year over year increase in CRDO. So I retracted my message in the chat. 26% quarter over quarter increase, almost 180% year-over-year increase. Now, their GAAP diluted net income per share, 20 cents. Non-GAAP diluted income per share, 35 cents. Apparently, they ended their cash and short-term investment balance here, or their balance at the end of the quarter, $431.3 million. So good look here. Their outlook for fiscal 2026, they're expecting revenue, I guess, for, I can't really tell if this is quarter or the year, but we'll pull up these numbers because beat across the board. So again, just to clarify, 180% year-over-year increase, 170 million in revenue. That was a beat. EPS, 35 cents. That would be a beat of estimates of 28 cents. And their guide for Q1 sales, actually a beat as well. They're guiding 185 to 195 million for Q1. I think this is supposed to be 2026. That is above estimates of 167 million.
So thank you, Dara. So a weak U.S. dollar today, down 0.7% as we look at UUP. So a weak U.S. dollar today. And then also we had the anticipation of Fed Chair Powell talking. He didn't really say that much. So we were monitoring that speech today. Interest rate cuts remain possible despite expected inflation from the new tariffs. So that's still a possibility. Gold typically performs well, which is what I wanted to get to that as well during this environment, right? We also did have possibly escalating geopolitical problems as the trade war over the weekend and, into last week when we heard that potentially President Trump and China were a little far away. We do see gold up there today as well. UNG, gold, silver, really this is GDX, the gold miners, really helping it out. Oil up today as well. So, a flight a little bit into some safety with gold and maybe some oil and some silver. Copper as well up today. COPEX up 2%. So some of these names continue to go higher there as we do anticipate some back and forth trade and tariff talk. But, right now there's where gold's pulling back in a little bit because, again, potentially some of this has, hit the side, and we'll see if the Nasdaq wants to keep going here in the after hours. But yeah, there's the Nasdaq at highs right now and going higher, 0.85. CRDO, very, very interesting. There it goes up now 20%, Adara. CRDO, and thank you for putting this on the list. We weren't even looking. I wasn't even looking at this. We'll see if we can get a high as $85. That is the most recent high for Credo Technology. So what a good name that is. And there it is, what it is on the 5-minute chart. All right, we did start today. We did get, technology stocks starting it out, better than expected news from U.S. factories today as well, with the PMI report showing expansion. That's pretty good. Positive vibes from recent tech earnings, like NVIDIA battled back today as well, keeping that Nasdaq to the high side. So there's NVIDIA going out near the lows, really battling back from Friday's sort of move back in, closing to where we were Friday morning. So that's a good little level there, 138. We'll see if the Nasdaq and everything else can wait out and hold for that. We had a huge move up for Micron today. Not even really sure what this driver was, but Obi and I, congratulations to anybody that hit that with us, as well as we failed off of $99 and closing in and around 98. What a good short that was there today as well. Tesla had themselves a day, starting with a huge move down there. We started with actually a huge move up, but then created a, sort of a waterfall effect to the downside there as, again, more China tensions hit. And then all of a sudden, maybe they do meet and we get that meeting going maybe as early as, I don't know, this week, next week. I'm not even sure. Did they even say a date yet?
No, they're with Trump.
Yeah.
We just know it's going to be maybe sometime this week.
Right, okay.
Well, we don't know. Who knows? Right. And then we also have China saying that negotiations aren't going well. We have Scott Bessent saying the negotiations aren't going well. We have Jameson Greer saying the investigations aren't the negotiations aren't going well. So maybe we need to investigate the negotiations. Who knows? But yeah, right now, a lack of clarity.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah, good. All right. I just want to double check that. So
I wish I had
that
a date, too.
Nimrod says, yeah, welcome back, Adara. So there it is right there. We say welcome back to Adara as well. And thank you, Nimrod, for that super chat. Yeah, that does mean a lot to us for sure. So thank you for all of that. All right. So there's Tesla. Yeah. I mean, the robo-taxi, people talking about that in the chat as well. That should be a big one moving forward as well. So that big, it wasn't a big piece for the manufacturing PMI number, but that did come in stronger than expected, suggests business conditions improving for manufacturers. So hopefully that'll be a good little number for us to go off of. Novo Nordisk, just to talk about something other than tech names there today, they got a good trial result as well. So Novo back upside. And you could see they're not the winners for the GLP-1. It seems like Eli Lilly today, right back to where we bought it, 750 again. So a nice move up there for Eli Lilly, trying to break through 770. That's sort of that next area that we got to get through for Lilly. So, and then, wow, the day got started off real good for a guy like me when we look at Palantir all the time, and there's that break of 132. We haven't had many breaks that have been like this interesting right off the jump, and we've tried Tesla a couple times. Sometimes it goes, sometimes it doesn't, and the same is true for Palantir, but today it goes. And there's the move there, breaking through 132. We let it settle down for the first couple minutes, and then boom, just breaks upside, and there it goes, man. Nice trade there for Palantir. And then the whoosh down, and then there's your 50-period moving average, the 200 period on a 5-minute chart. We were actually really all over this trade today, but we weren't here when it came back down into 129. So we do miss that. That was an epic long that we had written on our note. So hopefully we'll be able to watch out for that. So then you say, okay, what was actually down today? All right, TAN was down today, as the solar names haven't really been able to get off sort of the bottom there. Solar needs lower rates. And if the Fed is looking, as they talked about today, potentially lower rates, we want to hear the words, yes, lower rates are coming, and we are back into this cutting cycle, which we thought was going to be the case this year. Michael will remember, all of us will remember, there was supposed to be 5 or 6 rate cuts this year. Now, the year's halfway over. We'll see if we can catch up and make some of those cuts. But if we look at the extended CME Fed rate tool, it doesn't look like 6. So we'll have to wait to see if solar, and here's the TAN ETF. I know we're just looking at it for today, but it's been beat up. It did have a nice move. And look at that, man. I mean, I could bring Michael on at any time right now, and he knows this 200 period. Look at this. We had a little bit of time up above TAN on the 200. Then we bounced off the 200. We bounced again. Then we bounced again, and downside for TAN. So I'm going to take another sword, another talk from what we do here, don't catch falling swords. And again, Brian Shannon says, wait till you're out of the penalty box. It looks like Solar still in that penalty box, serving a 5-minute major.
Ooh.
We're almost done. We're almost done with Stanley Cup. You know, it's so crazy that, first of all, hockey is a, what season sport would you say?
Winter?
Winter, yeah.
It's June.
Right, it's June. We haven't even started the Stanley Cup yet. We don't even do it till Wednesday. They've been sitting at home since Thursday. Both teams.
Imagine how sweaty you're going to be. You put on your big old jersey. I think that's the jersey,
big old jersey,
and your snow pants or whatever.
Yeah, snow pants.
And you're lacing up your skates, and you're overheating. And it's June, and then you're back in the cold. Like, I think if I was a hockey player, I would probably get temperature whiplash.
Yeah, I think that's possible. But remember, I mean, these are in controlled environments inside arenas.
Right, but the arena's still kind of cold, though, right? You're going from extreme hot outside to extreme cold, and you're in layers. I digress. But if anyone plays hockey in the chat, chime in on this. I'm curious.
So that's very true. But the thing is, there's very, very fair weather teams, right? Like Tampa Bay has a team, so that would be.
Okay, well, yeah, that negates that.
Yeah. So there have been
probably more the Winnipeg Jets.
Dallas,
that have this issue.
where you're from. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So in Winnipeg, maybe potentially snowing today. No, I'm
90%.
Winnipeg, the home of 7-Eleven.
Yes.
Yes, that's the one.
Noted 7-Eleven.
You did definitely for that. And 7-Eleven is very popular in my house right now because every time my daughter has something, she knows it's $2 any size Slurpees.
Yeah.
So I like whenever there's a deal, that's fine. I am staying as far away from those Slurpees as possible because they are loaded with sugar, but they are tasty for the young kids. That is for sure. This man's kids are way too young for Slurpees, but I'm going to bring him in anyways. It's Mr. Michael Noss. Michael, you know, guys like me and you, we're getting up there in age. Not that you are, I am, of course. I got to stay away from those Slurpees. I know you're hitting the gym all the time, and you're looking amazing, by the way. I got a shout out to you. It's been a while since you and I have gone back and forth. It's normally Neil here on Mondays, so I'm glad, and Fridays, I guess, and glad to be here with you today. But you're no longer on Friday evenings, right? You're just on Monday with us on the recap show?
Just Friday mornings. But
Friday
evenings.
Friday
It's been too long. I hope everyone's fine. The family's good and all that.
Yeah, your kids are way too young for Slurpees.
3-year-old.
Your kids are way too...
Yeah, I'm not giving a 3-year-old a slushie. No.
No. Not yet. Anyways, let them go a little bit more. All right, so you were with us this morning, of course, and we talked about some of the homework that you had done over the weekend, and you brought us to SPY and showed us sort of the trends and where that all was. So today we have the first day, and it looks like the trend continues. SPY continues to go higher, so does the Nasdaq. I don't know if you saw some of the ETFs and some of the sectors like we talked about there. We looked at TAN as a red day, but I don't want to talk about maybe some of the ones that are going down unless you do. UNG today breaks above the 200 period. That's up 7.5%. Gold starting to make moves higher. Silver, you told me this is the crazy cousin. That's going higher as well. Dr. Copper, another one that you taught me as well. That's making moves higher here. So I don't know. Did anything catch your attention throughout the day today? Maybe some new sectors or something else you're looking at. XBI also higher today, up 2.5%. So there's a lot of these sectors right now that are starting to look like potentially we bottomed. And I know that was a while ago, but they're starting to look even more attractive on some of these monthly and weekly charts.
Tons. I made a list. There's a handful of sectors that are looking really good right now. I like your shout out on silver. I have the silver weekly chart up here. It looks amazing.
Right.
So I don't know if anyone's been watching long enough, probably 2-3 years ago, me ranting about this gold cup and handle right here. This is the same weekly chart going back to 2011 and saying how excited I was to buy this breakout at 200. I did. Still in a little bit. I wish I could say I was in all of it, but just still in a little bit of it there. This is starting to look pretty similar to that before its breakout. So silver is very interesting to me. I don't know what got it interesting today. I know, there was news on steel, but I don't really see anything on silver, but nice little breakout here. So if we could get moving, I've read some work that silver actually as an ETF has the shortest it's ever been, and same with the futures. It's as short as it's ever been. So any kind of push up, any kind of momentum move here, we know commodities have this very long history of doing absolutely nothing and then doing something like gold when it finally gets going. So not saying we're going to get a move that clean and that awesome, but I did buy a little bit today just in case.
I was going to ask you because it does look a little bit different than that smiley face there on gold, because on gold, at least we had sort of that defined area to get in. Silver still needs about, what, 20 or maybe 15% to get back to some of those highs. So you're starting to nibble in there and then hoping for a breakout, and maybe we'll have something on. Because honestly, I mean, I have the weekly chart up here, and I know I didn't zoom back as far as you, but I don't really see... Like, are you thinking about this level here that goes all the way back to October, which maybe is $32? Is that maybe the breaking level? Because we can go all the way back, and this goes all the way back to 2012, back here, $34. But I guess it's that level that we're kind of looking at for the breakout 32?
Yeah, and if we want to zoom in for a little bit more, what I'm interested in here, I've got this marked up, and it's really just a break of this prior level, come back and retest it, and now it looks like it may continue higher. So yeah, I'm looking at the equal highs here we have in March, and then we had back in October. If we can get a little bit of continuation above that, again, maybe that massive short float comes into play, people start to cover their positions, that could get us a little bit higher. And then again, as you mentioned, all-time highs are around 50. So even if we got there, I'd be a happy camper. But then through those, maybe we get a catch up. And again, silver is gold's crazy cousin, so it should be a little bit more volatile than gold. Everybody's been a little bit surprised we haven't continued or any sort of catch-up trade, and that's all I'm looking for is, can we get some catch-up? If we could get 50% of the move that we just got on gold and silver as a catch-up trade, I'd be happy.
There's some people talking in the chat about the gold-silver ratio. Do we know anything about that? Maybe that's something that we have to study again, because they're saying that that's something definitely to look at. So I don't know, are we looking for maybe a negative correlation there? But that goes to the point, and I know that you're charting it right now as you speak, but maybe that's something to look at. Is that something that you've ever considered, the gold-to-silver ratio? People are just asking about that, and if you had any thoughts about trading against that potentially?
Yeah, I don't really like that as a pairs trade, because you can see for a long period of time there's just kind of no movement here. But I think what they might be mentioning is there's periods of time that gold dramatically underperforms and periods of time that it overperforms. But generally speaking, it performs kind of right in line, and we haven't had that for a long time. You can see as this kind of drop off right here was just gold just really, really winning against silver. And now it looks like that might be reversing a little bit, right? Yeah. So for the longest time, there's been kind of no movement in this ratio. And then just recently, maybe we're going to get a little bit of a move here. So again, I want to see some sort of revision. Maybe you take some profits in gold and you buy some silver with that. Right. Maybe that's the catalyst we need. It's one of those, I don't really know the purpose of silver other than the fact, again, it's usually gold's crazy cousin.
Right. Yeah, I think that's about right. We all have one of those cousins, right? So, all right. I did want to ask you, I think it's like a changing of the guard, right? We always used to talk about Palo Alto as sort of being the strongest name in the space as far as cybersecurity and whatnot, but we have CrowdStrike, CRWD. And if you want to give a second maybe to look that one up, because I know that you've been talking about this a little bit as well, so I think you're familiar with it. It's at or near all-time highs. Well, it is right now. CrowdStrike finally breaking out, reporting in a couple days. To me, it looks fantastic, but I'm a little bit nervous because we're just so far away from the 200 period moving average, and it's had quite the give up here. I mean, look at the weekly chart, quite the move higher on CrowdStrike. If you come over to my screen, there it goes. Huge breakout right now. Definitely on the weekly, we just took down 450. Now you're up to 480. And even if I go into a daily chart, Michael, I mean, this is also going to give us that same sort of a break. This looks better at maybe at 460 on the daily. But there it goes, breaking higher. Earnings in a couple days. I know we don't like to trade names or get too aggressive heading into earnings because realistically, we have no idea what they're going to print. But this looks real good, doesn't it, CrowdStrike? I'm a little nervous how far away from the 200 we are. Anything constructive that you have here on CrowdStrike for people?
Did you like hack into my computer and look at my notes? Because I had silver and then I had the hack ETF, which is CrowdStrike is in it. And I love this chart. It's, yes, a little bit short-term overextended. So maybe this all-time breakout fails just a little bit, although all-time high breakouts are usually really good. Full disclosure, I own some CrowdStrike. I also own some of this hack, which is a cybersecurity ETF. So it's got a little bit of all these in it. This reminds me a lot of, and I think is related to, this defense. I remember talking to you guys about defense when it did its all-time high breakout back here. And the way I kind of look at it is that, there's been this talk of drones as, warfare and all of this. So defense makes perfect sense that there'd be some relation with defense and with cybersecurity, because more and more of this stuff is just hacking other people's computers as opposed to going out there with guns. So I think this could be a catch-up trade to that. If we're going to spend more on defense spending, which the administration said they're going to do a lot more in defense spending, maybe some of that trickles down into these ones. CrowdStrike looks good. Palo Alto still looks good. Again, I really like these ETFs. I think Hack is one, and I think Bug is the other one. And it's whether or not it's large cap or small cap cybersecurity. So if you don't know which name to potentially like, you could look at that. But that Hack ETF is actually making all-time highs as well. And again, I love the look of it, but you're right. Short-term overbought. So, if you're a little bit worried about that, it doesn't hurt to lighten up and see if it comes back a bit.
That was funny that you mentioned that. Did that? We're thinking the same names here, and then it was like, did I hack into your Google Docs or whatever? And then we talked
Maybe
about
I need some cybersecurity. Right?
The hack. Isn't that kind of an easy trade? Sometimes I know you're very obviously chart based with your analysis, but when you think back about it, the minute President Trump was elected and all of that, we kind of knew cybersecurity. We should have thought that maybe there could have been some sort of underpinning reasons there why we should be long, and obviously that trade continues to work out. So great movement there on Hack. All right. I know that we think alike a lot here on the show, and this is going to be something that I know you have a passion for, so we definitely didn't get into your system here, but I'm going to call this up. It's Bitcoin. They've had quite a little fall. I know that you put something out last week here about BTC that might bring the market down with it here if it does fail. So that was an absolutely great call about potentially failing at the top. The market's not really coming down with it, but Bitcoin sure is hitting the skid a little bit here. I mean, all-time highs, almost 12,000. Now today we printed, actually we lost about 8% or so from that top. If you go 12,000 down to about 103, 102.5 or so right now, feels like there's some room to go to the downside. This is just a Binance chart, so maybe some of these levels are not all the same, but it does look like we should be able to get some kind of support here in and around almost 100,000 even, where we dipped back into, we sort of held that 101 area. I'm actually a little nervous if we do break 100. I do think that we can retest back in here, man, into this 100-period moving average. That doesn't matter that much to me, but it's back into this last area where we coiled in and around 91, 92,000. So we're done. JD Vance, last week was running his mouth at some conference as well, talking about how he owned a lot of Bitcoin. That didn't seem to matter to anybody. You've brought in some interesting ETFs to our attention before as well. There's a Solana one that's out there as well. I don't know. What's the reason for us to maybe buy some Bitcoin? Are there any levels that you're looking at? And I'm looking for the next catalyst here. Bitcoin, I think, does have a chance to trade back into the low 90s.
Yeah, and that's my worry, is that if we don't stick the landing here on Bitcoin, and this just becomes a failed breakout that kind of suckered everyone in. The reason I was worried about that bringing down the market is because it kind of let us out of the market. I remember there was a handful of days in through here where Bitcoin was rallying and the market was just staying put. And then a couple days later, the market rallied with it. So I'm worried that I use crypto as kind of a risk on appetite, right? People are, if you're buying your Pepes and your dog with hats and all of that, then you're probably feeling good about the economy and the market, and things are moving higher. So if we lose this, although we could hold on here, if we lose this and we do break that 100,000, like you said, and into the 90s, I am worried that something bad at the same time is probably happening to the equity market. The only saving grace that I have here is this lower line is the using the futures is the large speculators, and these guys are often wrong. So the fact that they are short and they've been getting shorter all this rally, you can see as we've been rallying higher, they've been shorting more and more and more, makes me think that if something happens and we get some sort of reversal up through here, all of these shorts are wrong and have to cover, and that could be the thing that rallies us higher. But yeah, I'm a little worried. What's interesting, and this is, talking about ratio charts for the chat there that was interesting, is the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio. So basically, if this line is going down, then Ethereum is underperforming Bitcoin. And if this line is going up, then Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin. You can see quite often Ethereum underperforms Bitcoin. But just recently, we've had this massive pop, and it's holding that gain versus Bitcoin. So maybe an alt season. I've been promised an alt season now for like 2 years, so maybe an alt season is going to happen soon.
Good, I hope so.
Thank you so much for being here with us today, Michael. I know one thing you'd actually posted about recently on X was the U.S. dollar, and you're saying basically that we need it to chill. So my question is, are you looking at this more from a Forex perspective, and do you look at Forex a lot in general, or is this more something that you can look at the DXY, trade equities or other entities there as well, like bonds?
Yeah, and the main premise for this, and it's a great question, is that the market doesn't like a volatile dollar. And it makes perfect sense if you think about it from the business's point of view. If I'm Apple, right, they sell things everywhere, but right, in the US and then we're up here in Canada, if the US-Canada dollar relationship is changing all the time, it gets very hard to know what to price my phones for and what I'm going to make in revenue and all the budgeting and everything that comes a part of it. And you can see that in the chart. When we had this 2022, 2023 just rally in the dollar, this was where kind of that bear market had started. And then as soon as the dollar kind of hung out here, 2023 and 2024, that's when we had our bull market. And then as soon as the dollar got volatile again, that's when we had trouble. So the market, I don't think it matters so much the level of the dollar. In fact, a lower dollar might be more bullish because it means they're making more money from these other countries. But they doesn't like the movement. And we've been getting a lot of dollar movement recently. And again, that has me a little bit worried. There's many ticks for the bull market going on now, and both Bitcoin and the dollar are the two against it, because you can see if it's moving crazy, that's generally bad for the market. We want the dollar to chill, but it's really weird and unusual to see both the dollar go down and Bitcoin go down. Generally, these are kind of inversely correlated, because if the dollar goes down, then you think Bitcoin priced in the dollar would move higher. But yeah, I don't like this movement. And again, I don't think it matters the price level. I think it matters more the rate of change in the dollar. So if we can get a couple days of just nothing in the dollar, then I think that's overall bullish for stocks. But the chart doesn't look too good here. It looks like this could be a bull flag breaking down a little bit.
All right, we are here with Michael Noss from Stats Edge Trading. Thank you so much for joining us. They can go follow you, of course, at Michael Noss CMT. But I don't want to let you go now. It's 4:30. I want to get a play from you this week. Is there any specific name or an ETF or something? And I know that we just talked a lot about silver and gold and some great ideas, but I didn't. And then the hack and CrowdStrike. So we've definitely gone over lots of things. But is there one thing that maybe you wanted to point out to the viewers right here, that maybe when we do see you on Friday, something you're looking at maybe this week, or something that's interesting that we potentially haven't touched on yet?
So I am very interested in the psychedelic sector here. So I have PSIL up, and this is a psychedelic ETF. And we had a nice little breakout today. There was some merger and acquisition news that happened. I was reading some news that I guess the head of the FDA or some other drug administration agencies in the US is positive for the psychedelics. And again, these guys aren't trying to be commoditized the way marijuana is. They're trying to be replacements for SSRIs and antidepressants and anti-anxieties and all of that. And it had a nice little breakout today. So I'm watching this one to see if potentially this kind of looks a little bit of like an inverse head and shoulders to me. We're going to get some continuation. Full disclosure, I own some MindMed from around the $5 area, and that's looking interesting as well. So when I went through and I looked at all the components of PSIL, MindMed was holding up the best. So I think that's the place I want to look. But if you just want to take a bet on the sector as well, PSIL looks interesting. The only note I'll put there is this is actively managed. So it means that it's not just a basket of these stocks. They're actively underweighting and overweighting depending on which ones they like the best. But again, this one's an interesting for me for a little bit of a breakout. So maybe a precursor to news. I don't know. I think you've got a pretty tight stop here in the 12s. If you're wrong, it's at 13 right now. And then these prior highs are up at 15, 16. So that seems like a pretty good risk reward to me.
Okay, great. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, we did have MindMed here the day they IPO'd down in the Canadian Venture Exchange. We had them here live on the show, so that's an interesting name. So I think most of us that work here, we are into MindMed because we've heard that story for a while. So good call there, PSIL, another great name. All right, Michael, CMT here. Thank you so much for joining us at Michael Noss with Stats Edge Trading. Anything, you doing any live streams or anything you want to sort of promote here before I let you go?
Just find me everywhere you can find me, my Substack, Twitter, all those kind of things. And I love coming and hanging out with you guys. Great. Thank you, Michael. Have a great one. Say hi to the family for us, and we'll see you again on Friday. That's Michael Noss, everybody. See ya.
Oh boy, that's great, man. I hope to do more shows like that or more opportunities with Michael because I love talking to the guy. Like he had mentioned there, locked to the same page. Him, Neil, myself, we're all anybody that's a fan of the show and that watches knows about Michael and sort of his expertise there. So I want to thank him for once again coming through. But we're not going anywhere without roll call. All right. I mean, it was a big day here today. What was this poll before we go? Pick your Titan. Oh, I already picked it. Yeah, United States. I mean, come on, man. We don't even stream in China, come on. Until they get some YouTube going on there. Yeah, look, I think the U.S. eventually obviously comes out on top now through all this tariff talk. And I'm very, very positive about the future moving forward here in the stock market. I mean, there can be other dips and dives and ducks and dodges, but at the end of the day, the market continues to work. You can see Lululemon, very, very interesting. I just realized I'm wearing Lulu pants, shirt, and even socks today. I have to check the underwear after this. Lululemon with earnings in just a couple of days. Looks like it wants to break a little bit higher, coiling up and going. Should have bought stock instead of clothing down there at 250. What a great opportunity for Lululemon. We'll have to watch that. And that goes right into Michael's talk about the weak U.S. dollar and your question. Great question there from Adara. All right, man, it's roll call. We're just going to do some waves. I'm going to start it off by waving to everybody. So hi, everybody. Let's see who's still here. We're a little light. It's a Monday. It's summer. It's gorgeous weather out there. I want to thank all 2,800 of you for staying late with us. That's still a great number. We want to thank all of you for that. Get out of here. Let me see who I see right now. It's Cowboy Mike. What's up, Cowboy Mike? Get off that roller coaster. He says it was a roller coaster for him there today. Gworev, you are welcome. He says thanks to Trader TV Live as well. Hey, Sean Katina. Hey, there you are. Hey, what's up? Michelle Muir, thank you so much. We all love Michael Noss. You are right about that, Michelle. Tia, thank you so much for being here as well. Just Trading, Smokster, God Emperor Almighty. What's up? Right there to you as well. Raju as well. Sir Paper Poppy Hands, thank you as well. Dexter is there. Sadiq, Mojo, Derek, King Cluck, Aura Alpha, and everybody else. Derek, you're busy typing stuff up. What are you working on?
Oh yeah, so I'm working on basically a master post of. So you know how you have the stock heat map? I want to do that with the Nasdaq 100 market cap. I have all my values in. I did fumble the formatting a little bit, it looks like, because I have all 100 names, but if they're not organizing by sector, so I'll do a little bit more tweaking and hopefully get that for you guys within the next few days. But yeah, I can just kind of show you the very rough version if y'all want. This is, so far, our Nasdaq 100 heat map that I have not edited at all. This is completely untouched. This title is wrong. So yeah, keep an eye on this. Nice. I'm really excited to edit this and hopefully have it in a presentable fashion very soon.
That looks absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
All right, man, it's 4:35. We've been here for a minute. I was trying to think of something to ask you. So I'm going to do the same thing that we've done before, and we have many new viewers. This is your Starbucks order. Please repeat it for everybody.
It's a matcha frappuccino. It'll be no whipped cream. It will be 2 extra scoops of matcha because I want that caffeine. I don't want that sweetness. And it will be with almond milk. And if I can find any way to cut the sweetness as well, I do that as well.
You get the matcha green on.
Yeah. No, I am. We're all green. Green's actually like arguably my favorite color, not intentionally, but I like green and I like maroon. So sorry, market. We get it both ways.
Yeah, the matcha. I love the matcha latte.
What's yours?
Actually, my last Starbucks was the matcha latte. I just get it tall.
Nice.
Matcha latte, half sweet, no foam, extra hot.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, because we drink a lot of coffee here. Well, maybe I'll get that tomorrow well, maybe we can do a run. Why don't we do a Starbucks run? Nice. Tomorrow we could do that. All right, thank you so much for joining one more time. That's Adara. I'm Sean. Thanks, Fabian, for staying late with us. Obi's still here doing lots of work. Thanks, Brendan, today, Ramin, everybody that's been here, Sharif, Joe, Bears vs. Bulls, and most importantly, thank you to everybody who's watching and our guest 2 times today, Mr. Michael Noss. Go find him, search him up, great mind for sure. Thank you so much. I'm back tomorrow with my main guy. It's Neil. He'll be back in the hot seat tomorrow. We'll ask him how his trip was. From me to you, trade well, sleep well, and we'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.
See you.
You found the best trading show on the planet. So what are you going to do now? Simple. Hit the like, subscribe, and share it. It's Trader TV Live. We're here, baby.